See, I'm the best, man. I did it.
Unity!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We know a lot of stuff going on. Other people are streaming, but I'm sticking to Tuesday, man. I'm sticking to Tuesday. So let's hail to 80s Mate. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't seen the link in the description, go back. Odin Dasko's Unconditional Shove. It went live this Saturday. Go check that out back. And if you like creepy, eerie, horror anthology stuff, this seems like this is going to be the horror anthology of CG so far. I'm not sure if other people have done it. My beanie's crooked as hell, dude. No, I figured it. But go ahead and back that for sure. I think it's on. It's going to be on Luke Stone's channel, so check that out. But then come back here because we need your suggestions for what we're drawing tonight. Let's go ahead, and with that being said, let's show off that trailer. I got it here. Boop.
Educated guess, I'd say that man is alive.
Come with me, see what I see. The terrible worlds that lie between. The realm observed and the realms unseen, where the dark things live while you dream. Join me, fight on the beholder as I drag your mind into those shadows and corners where you can see like me, those things you don't want to believe. Unconditional Shove, the new horror sci-fi graphic novel anthology series, featuring 2 stories and over 80 pages of compelling, action-packed, terrifying fun. In our first story, I'll take you to a place where the otherworldly is made manifest. In this place, the abstract permeates the cosmology. In this place, your fears will construct the most terrifying animations. Because in this place, monsters exist. And in our second story, we stumble upon an ancient friendship between monster and man. And you'll see why it might be best to keep your monsters close and your enemies even closer. In with friends like these. Unconditional Shove Volume 1. A graphic novel for all you lovers of the strange, macabre, and creepy things that we all know exist in the shadows of our universe. Unconditional Shove. Back it today on Indiegogo.
All right, yeah, that looks like it's going to be very cool. Two versions of that. You can get a black and white copy, and you can get a color copy. Both of them look amazing, and Odin drew it in meant to be black and white, but man, the color set he has is doing a phenomenal job. Two different experiences. So honestly, I mean, if you got the coin, I'd probably suggest getting the black and white and the color, because that's one of my regrets with Fiendish is I didn't get one of each. And the black and white's awesome, but I wish I would have gotten color too. So don't miss out. Black and white, color, and there's an add-on for limited edition Magnificent Bastards, black and white with an alternate cover by Odin, and it's going to be limited to 100 copies. So that's an add-on if you back Unconditional Shove. Go check that out. We have a guest in the back. We'll go ahead and bring him out, and then let's see if we can get started here. No intros. I'm not that fancy. So here we go. Rob, what is up, my man?
Hey, what's going on? Hell to the CG, hell to the JBot. What's going on?
You know, just chilling, trying to keep the schedule going, you know?
Hey, I see. I was like, all right, I got a little bit of time. Sometimes JBot might start about, 10:15 or whatever. And I was like, oh,
Nope.
I get in right on the dot,
I seen that. I was like, I click start, you popped in. Even if you're late, man, that's cool. You know, we're
All
chill
right, as
over
long as
here.
I'm not late and gay.
It's as long as you're not late and gay. I got no gay intros, so I'm not that together.
Thank you. And I definitely want to take the moment to say thank you so much for having me on this art jam that you've been doing weekly. It has expanded my perception about, the whole, training art. This is almost like a workshop in a way where we actually spend that time to challenge ourselves. And once you added the chat factor in it, it's become something pretty awesome. And I'm definitely thankful for being part of it.
Oh, no problem, man. Anytime. Anytime. I mean, you'll always have you and Odin, Robo, all those guys. I mean, they always have an open invitation. I send the links out, and also comics with Drew and stuff like that. And I started shooting the links to other people too. If they stop on by, cool. If they don't, that's no problem. Nobody has any obligations, but you always have an open door policy with me, man. So you're always welcome, dude. And even if I'm doing something or people are on and you want to pop in, shoot me a DM on Twitter, whatever. Like, hey, man, like shoot me the link, and that's cool. What I mean? That's no problem. I'm trying to offer something. I feel like me, you, Odin, and 80s, especially 80s is the one who streams a lot here. You know what I mean? He has this stuff, so I'm trying to add to. I feel like we're all our own like little clique, little umbrella, if you will. And I'm trying to add something with the art in our group to do something different. So.
Indeed. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming in. So I'm not here by myself, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Drawing by yourself is like, okay, well, why am I even streaming? I could be drawing otherwise. Oh boy. My speaker's talking to me again. She needs attention. I swear. But what was it? Halloween. That was the first time I got to see Hell 80s Mate. That's the first time I got to see Fragtober. And they're under a 45-minute pressure cooker.
Yeah. Yeah. We I don't want none of that.
No,
we're tired, man. All right, let's call it. Cool, dude. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Fraga did 13 this time, like 13 days. The last 2 years, he did every day, man. He did like about, if not close to. It was ridiculous.
Pretty much every day in October?
Yeah. Almost.
Wow.
I mean, it was pretty close, at least 25. The cool thing about it, and what I would like to maybe do too, is one thing that I thought was cool was like even like that's how Odin found my stuff, and how I found his stuff is doing like Fragtober stuff, because Fraga would go through and talk about would show like, okay, so let's say that they picked, like when they picked Inspector Gadget for that one time, the next day he would go through and everybody would post in that like thread on Twitter their art
Okay.
that they drew along with. And then
Yeah.
he would go through and be like, "Oh, here's JBot with Inspector Gadget. Here's Odin Dasko with Inspector Gadget. Oh, this is cool." And he would like talk about everybody's art. He's just been so dang busy that it was a little tougher for him this year.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Mhm.
I'm learning about that. Like when we posted last week, I didn't even know that it was supposed to, go into that thread. So learning some things from you guys, greatly appreciate it.
I'm trying to make a a community of artists here that we could share each other's stuff and I know a dude that can, let's say if I do a book, well, I know Rob can draw. Hey Rob, you want to do a pinup for me? You want to do alternate cover? You want to do something, or hey Robo, hey man, I know you're swamped, but hey, you want to color this so I can sell it as a print? Like, I'll pay you, no problem, stuff like that. We're kind of making our own art network and stuff like that. Or 80s, you got an idea? All cool, man. Like that's, what I mean? We're kind of doing our own stuff. Yeah, we found each other's stuff. That's how dudes do each other. Absolutely.
Oh God, here he goes.
So let's see what we got. Mo Biggs. Hey, Mo Biggs. Thanks for stopping by, man. Always a
Mo.
pleasure to have Mo in here, dude. Mo's legit. Also, Rob, I don't have it in my favorites yet, but I do want to start posting your link tree. So don't forget to post your link tree. You are a mod. Post your link tree in the chat if you haven't already, so we can have people start seeing your stuff. And then even you have your Virgin Kill Paradox issue 0. That was done I know that was done like 2018 or something like that. So it's not what your current work represents, but at least it's something physical. If somebody wants to buy it and have something by Rob Wilson physically, it's always cool to show them where they can get that too. You know what I mean? They could get on the ground floor, you know what I mean, before your Virgin Kill Paradox #1 comes out, and then it'd be like, I got issue 0, bitch. Like, what's up?
Exactly. The what do they call it? The Primus. The beginning, the origin, the primordial ooze.
Oh, let's see what 80 says. I suggest Conan draw for Zeta homage. Okay.
Wow.
Oof, I don't know. That's tough. I just put my Rosetta book away. I'll go.
I might have to do some research on that.
It might not. It could be that would be fun, but it's not going to look like Rosetta. But that would be pretty. That would be pretty awesome. I would want to do something something along the lines of that. Ever since I saw the first few episodes of Primal, the show Primal, that's done by Jenny Tartovsky or whatever, who did Samurai Jack. And oh man, it's an awesome, like, of course, hand animated cartoon in that style, gory adult. It's pretty much about like a caveman and stuff. It's no talk and no dialogue because he doesn't talk.
Just rumbles.
So it's pretty. That's a pretty neat one.
Nice.
Let's see. Moses says Conan the Noodle Armed Barbarian by JBot. 80 says no. Do it in your style. That's the point. I'd be down to do Conan, dude. That's cool. That's cool with me. Being like, war.
I'll turn Conan into a block character. He'll be looking like the Thing when I'm done with a barbarian sword.
Be cool, man. Whatever, man. I think that's the fun stuff. We have, if you want, I don't know if you still have it handy, Rob. We can show what we also did last week. As well.
Absolutely.
Here, I'm gonna do the camera switch here, because when I add the second camera, it just it totally bogs down the internet here. Like when I start clipping. So let's switch this around.
Right quick, you mind if I show a little bit of teaser of what I've been doing with the colors for the cover of VKP #1?
Yeah. Good. Throw that in there, man. We'll share that for sure, dude.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I've been like trying to get all the skin detail and all that stuff down.
Oh wow.
And that's why I like these little things right here. I left them just unrendered because they were meant to be devices, that glow on active.
Yeah, I like that effect. As soon as I saw them, I knew they were glowing.
Yeah. And then kind of like her boot thrusters and all that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I did have to cheat when I was done with the buildings. I did have some I do have some render brushes, you know, for
That's
like
pretty-
cross
that's neat,
hatching
man.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But for the
mean, why
most
not?
part, yeah, I'm trying to kill it.
Why
you
not,
know?
dude? You know, why not? It's the tool's there, dude. It's meant to be used.
Yeah. So outside of that, you said to show. Oh yeah, what we worked on yesterday.
Yeah.
Goblin Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, Goblin Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
Yours came out really good, man. That was really sick.
Thank you,
awesome.
sir. Yeah, like I don't. Oh my God. All right. She just like keeps saying it over and over and over. It's like annoying as hell.
Cool. These were mine from last week. I went and that was the blue line, and then I went through and inked it. Let's see if we zoom that in a little bit. There we go. Didn't fit it. I'm not done with it though. I'm putting it on the back burner for now. I changed the sword backwards instead of forward on that one. So cool. That's where we're at. He goes, yeah, Goblin. This was really fun to draw. What you think about drawing Goblin Girl?
Yes, indeed.
Right. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So then I did my own, like, all right, that's it. I'm drawing big titty ladies from now on. Like it was so fun, dude.
Yeah, she was like, man, like, here's the blood on the sword. Any questions?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's see. Let's say hey to hey, Earth's Best is here. Thanks for stopping by, EB, man. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Hails, yeah. Earth's Best Entertainment. Nice.
And then let's go ahead. And I'm thinking, I think we do Conan, dude. I'm thinking we just draw Conan. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get up and let me grab my book real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna step away for a hot sec.
Sure, man. Yeah, literally just put it up. I was like, let me make some room because I had no room here on the side for my art, my paper. So here we go. Earth's Best Friend, book number 4 in Indiegogo. Go check that out. I need to get a better playlist is what I need to do. I need to get some more stuff. I need to get some vaporwave or some synthwave and stuff. So yeah, this is the art. This is the book that I got. This book is, I think, 80 something. This book is as old as I am. When I moved out, I took it. It was my old man's. Look at this large poster site, full color Rosetta posters. $3 each plus 75 postage.
Damn.
Special.
Wait a minute. What?
These were this was the time. Let's see when I was trying to look at when this book was printed. This Rosetta book. This was my dad's.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I took it when I moved out. Let's see the fantastic art. This is saying copyright 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Printing history, yeah, 1976. And they're saying you could order full color Frank Frazetta posters from them back then for $3.
Wow.
Plus 75.
The good old prices prior to inflation.
They get special reproduction on silk cloth of color plates. Sea Witch and Egyptian Queen are also available at $10 each, plus postage.
Damn.
Man, I wonder how much those would be worth today.
Oh, now nickel and dime and some gold bullion. Basically.
Mo sharing the links like a G in the chat. Thanks again, Mo.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Mo for keeping me alive during the Halloween week live stream that I just impromptu came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And man,
Dude, I was always at work, man. So I'm like, hey, man. And I was like, oh, like, because I would get off at 8. And
Yeah.
so by the time I come home, I have to close the shop. I get home, put my daughter to bed, eat, by the time it's like 9,
Yeah,
you know what I
hey,
mean? So it's
I
like, oh,
completely
man, I want to
understand.
hop on, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm just watching some silly stuff, and I'll be like, is that possible or is it impossible? Just bullshit
Uh,
or BSing.
I like the one that it was you, Odin, and then James came on with the wax
Yeah,
box. I was like,
yeah,
this is great. Like, that was a
yeah,
good stream, dude.
yeah. And James kept sending more links to more horror videos and stuff. And I was like, I'm trying to end the show, man. He was like,
Mhm.
no, you want to watch crappy videos? Let's watch it.
Sometimes you just gotta let it happen, dude. You
Yeah,
just gotta
yeah,
you just gotta let it flow. Just let it happen.
yeah. And
Hey, Replicant, what's up, man?
Replicant.
Thanks for stopping on by, dude. Let
And
me
then
know if you want to hop in, dude. I know last time I asked you were having audio issues and stuff. I'll be more than welcome to send you the link, dude.
open season. But yeah, Monday I had to combine everything. I was like, I'm not going to switch from one stream to another and all that. I was like, no, the heck with that. Let me just put it all into one. And then that ended up turning into a crap show too, because the guys from Twitch, we all kind of got into I guess a healthy banter, when it came to certain things,
Mhm.
Hard Japanese life versus what the internet's telling you about Japanese life.
Dude, my brother lives there. He could tell us all about Japanese life.
Man, I can
He's like,
imagine.
man, they talk about honor and stuff. I'm on the bus. I'm on the subway going to work. I'm watching all these Japanese dudes pick their noses with these long ass fingernails, and then they'll start some shit and then not look at you and then call the cops on you. They're talking about all this honor. He's like, man, it's all bullshit, dude. Like, he was telling me he got into a bar fight with this one guy, and he's like, all right, man. Like, the guy starts some shit. He slapped him like a girl. He went, what? Slapped him like the cool dude was like, what? And he's like, so they're like, we're gonna call the cops. He's like, whatever, dude. He's like, F you, I'm walking. He's like, I'm out of here. Get you all. And they're like trying to stop him. And he's like, man, it was like I had kids hanging off me, man. Like I was just like, I just pushed him off me, just walked right through him, walked out, man.
Damn. Yeah, it's interesting how things go down on the other side of the world,
Yeah, because he was saying a lot of stuff too. Is that the shit rolls downhill as well. So you'll have a supervisor or the head guy treats the guy under them like crap, and then that guy treats the guy under them like crap, and and it just goes on and goes.
That's like the military.
So on and so forth. And if the boss asks you to go drink, you have to go out and drink with them and stuff. And it's just my brother, he's out there teaching English, and now he owns his own gym. He has his own. He has partners where he owns his own gym. He's partners with a couple guys to own a gym, and then they have a little bar because they have little bars all over the place there. They're called izakais.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like a mom and pop hole in the wall that you go in. You're like, hey man, it's like, oh, this is what we got today. All right, cool, man. Hey, I'm hungry. You got stuff? He's like, all right, man. Like they're looking. It's like, well, I can make you some ramen or this or that. They're like, cool, man. Yeah, all right. And then they'll make you whatever they got. It's not like it's like a stocked restaurant. Then maybe at the, and then maybe that Monday they go buy some more stuff, but it's not like. You're really going to someone's like, hey man, what's up? Hey man, here's my bar. All right, cool, dude. And they might have like a karaoke machine in the corner, and
that's what I was about to say.
Tables and stuff. It's not like it's like whoa. And that's where my brother likes going because those are the local spots.
Yeah. Hey, the hole in the wall spots be having some good food, man.
Yeah, and that's where he goes all the time, man. He's like, yeah, man. So he's like, when you come out, I'm probably gonna try and go out next year. He's like, when you come out, man, I'll take you to a couple. I'm like, cool, dude. Yeah, no problem.
Nice.
He's like, you just gotta keep in mind, man, like, because of course me and my wife are gonna go. He's like, just keep in mind, man, they're gonna kind of stare at your wife because they're not used to seeing white girls with big old titties. I'm like, all right, man. No problem.
Yeah. No.
There's these thin Japanese chicks, and my wife's thick, man. So
Understood. Yeah,
so
I'm kind of reminded.
I'm like, cool, man, no problem.
I'm kind of reminded of I don't know if you ever seen House of Cards, but there was something special about, a politician, Frank Underwood, having his secret barbecue spot in DC that was black owned, and the dude made like the best ribs in town.
Nice.
Those
That
on the
was
wall
like
spots.
there's a few places in Chicago called what was it called? Roscoe's Chicken Shack or something. There's a Harold's Chicken Shack in Chicago. It's
Mhm.
like, and the guys are like, listen, if you're not ordering your fried chicken through bulletproof glass, like you're wasting your time, man. And you go to this place and everybody's there. Businessmen, construction workers, the locals, everybody's there getting chicken from these cats,
Yeah, hell yeah. It's in demand. Get it while it's good.
That's when you're it's good, man. You risk getting shot for getting some chicken. There's a couple taco places like that were downtown too.
Yeah, we had the Popeyes craze for a hot minute, remember? Folks was fighting over some Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich.
Okay.
And
Let's
then
shoot that over to you.
What'd they say? Boondocks predicted it. They had an episode where like people were raging out to get their chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And remember there was a craze with Popeyes here in the United States because they introduced that spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, people started losing their minds after that.
Yeah. Cool. I was like,
awesome.
Man.
We sent Replicant the link.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting set up.
Nice.
It's not like you hear on the internet. Can I make you some ramen? That was the first Asian thing that came to mind, dude. Listen, ramen's way too damn fancy for these cats to make. They're like, you're lucky if you could. They'll open a can of Campbell's for you. You know what I mean? Whatever Japanese Campbell's, Cambuals or however they pronounce it over there, because their L's suck ass.
It took me a while to realize that the American oodles and noodles ramen is different from the Japanese ramen.
This is better than looking at JBot's head, listening to beats. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
That's true, because I'll be like this.
Yeah, that's how I get too,
I'll be like
80s made.
At least Rainey had
shots.
She had like Fiendish at the top of her, to promote her stuff.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Cool. We sent that over there. We sent that to Replicant. Cool. We're chilling with him. I figure we'll wait till Replicant comes in, man, and we'll start doodling on some Conan, dude. Or here we go. Let's bring him in, man.
Oh, snap. What up, brother?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Kind of Replicant. One of the hardest men working in comicsgate.
Yeah, working. Let's go with that.
Hey, sharing them links and having all that stuff ready, that's work, man.
Work.
You and General Piggy. Because I mean, like if nobody was doing that, comicsgate would get less notoriety. They would get less backers probably too. So, definitely thank you for a lot of the work that you, Mo Biggs, and General Piggy have been doing.
Word. Mo says, enjoy hearing JBot and Rob while you can. Once Replicant is on, he'll be dominating the conversation as usual.
Oh, for real? Let's hear it.
Are
you going to be drawing today, bud, or you're just chilling out, man?
Yeah, I'll do some drawing, I guess. I got some new equipment that I'm still getting used to, but I could probably do something.
Okay.
What are we drawing today?
80s suggested Conan.
Conan, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool. So that's what we'll do. Let's throw on some. I'll throw on some tunes here real quick, and then we'll get cracking. Conan.
Can't exactly broadcast what I'm doing yet, but I can post the finished results in Twitter or something.
Yeah, cool. No problem, man. Absolutely. Let's say they just pick what we draw. We just draw it and be like, hey, man, this is what we got. That's it.
Yep.
It's very chill, man.
Won't need none of that John Malin pressure. God bless him for being tough, though. You know what I mean? I think it's important to be blunt, especially coming from, a lot of success in his case.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot.
Conan.
Let's change time to change the camera. Whoop. Cuckoo. Hey, this was a crossover I was doing with Unconditional Shove and then my Hammerlock Rustler character.
Oh snap! Hammerlock versus the tentacle monster and bugs.
So let's do some Conan.
Is he going to eat that bug? Inquiring
He's squishing
minds.
it in his hand. He's like, ah.
Oh.
But it's going to be an
then
infestation, man. He's going to be. So the breakdown of this is Hammerlock is like, he's going to be like, this is going to be like a crystal ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like inside a crystal ball.
Mm-hmm.
And when I transfer this over to an actual comic book page, I'm going to have more space. So I'm going to have, like, of course, there's going to be a damsel behind him, kind of like ode to like the OG, like, the pulp, the pulp covers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the crystal ball is the Vidon the Beholder. He's going to be fighting the same things. Like this weird infestation of these crazy maggot things that's like going across time and space and interdimensional, type stuff. So it's just a cover, but I was like, oh, that'll be neat.
So in my 80s made memory banks, basically after he crushes the bug, then he eats it.
Is that what happened?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You know,
he's got
Conan. I thought JBot was talking about his Conan drawing for a second. I'm like, that sounds intimidating.
It's like, damn, dude, give me a chance. Give me a chance.
I'm gonna draw like a dude with a sword or something. I don't know.
Yeah. As the 70s made consumer says, he loves Beats and Conan.
Nice.
EB says there's a 70s made too. Absolutely.
When worlds collide.
70s made consumer hates every movie that 80s made consumers like. Like, don't worry, it's a bit. There are no movies he actually doesn't like.
Yeah, those two are like the monitor and the anti-monitor.
Let's see. Oh, I should get a pencil. That would help. Man, I went to the Hobby Lobby, man. They stopped carrying the Strathmore comic paper, man. I was heartbroken.
Really?
Yeah. Now all they have is that artist touch now, and they have the comic paper, but it doesn't have the blue line.
Probably because it's
what's
cheaper.
The point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's their in-house brand.
Yeah, they're copping out. They're sacrificing.
Oh man, this thing, this smudge is like no tomorrow all the dang time. I'm like, dude. So now I gotta get a piece of paper.
Yeah, I just got this this iPad and like an Apple Pencil, and I'm still trying to like work everything out. Using Procreate right now.
You are set,
dude.
sir.
Yeah, I love that Procreate, dude. That's so good.
That's the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, like I'm not even familiar with all of it yet. It's all like kind of weird to get used to, but I'm loving it. It's really fun. It's really
it's like
fun
you gotta take a studio wherever you go, man. It's like super neat. I'm going to change this to I'm gonna change this to my face just because it's light right now. You're not even gonna be able to see what I'm doing right now.
I used to do job coaching with United Cerebral Palsy of Southern Maryland, and one of my job coaches was for somebody that worked at Giant, and he he was like maintenance or janitor, and he was a wrestling fan. So out of nowhere, sometimes he would start talking smack. He'd be like, "Hey man, You dressed for success today. I'll be like, oh, cool, thanks, I appreciate it. He be like, but there's one problem. I'll be like, what's that? He be like, your face. I can't say nothing to that. So we had a good time. It was so funny. Oh man. Yeah. It's those moments that are classic. Y'all familiar with what's his name? Gellerman del Toro?
Oh, is it the director guy?
Yeah, I know I'm butchering his first name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo. Okay, del Toro. Got it. I got the chance of running into kind of like, I guess, his version of the Twilight Zone. And it's called, what is it? Oh, come on. It's called The Cabinet of Curiosities.
Okay.
Very interesting, very deep stories. They're all short stories. I think it's like 8 episodes. I'm not even going to say what it's on because I know what's coming with that.
That gotta sounds like it
Oh, is 80s in the chat?
Yeah.
Ends with flicks is what it sounds like.
But pretty interesting stories, man. Like it looks like literally he doesn't have any filter for what he's producing, and he narrates right before every story. So,
Okay.
Might be something worth checking out, but don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody.
80s is lurking.
It's like you made cuties.
He flipped on me so fast. I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, hold up, what? Oh man, that shit
80s is an opinionated gentleman.
Yeah, especially once he gets some whiskey going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gotta
Get some
have
whiskey going, bro. He'll vaporize your ass, bro. All of a sudden you're there, and all of a sudden you're just like bloop bloop bloop. You're gone out of the chat. You just fucking.
Oh man, yeah, that happened. That happened Saturday.
Yeah, that made me laugh so hard. Like after he was done with his spiel, and Odin's like, "So 80s, what you got in your glass there?"
Oh man, good times.
Draw him with an orc's head, but the orc is like trying to draw the orc with his eyes rolling in the back of his head, but it looks like he's just looking up, like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like it's all good, man.
All right. I think I'm gonna keep it simple today. Just gonna do like a profile shot because I don't really do too many of those. You guys taking it to inks today or just pencil?
Probably just pencil.
Yeah,
Whatever, however it
Just
ends
pencil.
up, honestly. Usually we do about an hour or whatever we feel like, and say, "Oh, okay, this turned out good. We'll keep going." Or
All right.
Oh man, hey JBot, I totally forgot to tell you. I've been getting back into Devil May Cry 5.
Uh-huh.
And I got Virgil. I got almost all his skills.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well I gotta get that, was it $3 million taunt, skill. Where max it increases the amount of, score and all that stuff. So I was like, I made up mission 10. And then I was like, let me start all the way at the beginning. And the prologue, you have to fight the last boss at the beginning.
Oh God.
So I beat the crap out of the last boss in the beginning. So bad with all the skills that I had. After that, they rolled the credits.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, no way. And then they had me play it again, and then the boss was like super hard. He killed me, halfway through his life. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, had to readjust. For
Like,
anybody that's ever,
you thought you were dope, huh?
yeah. Start pulling out some BS. It's like basically for anybody that's seen Gantz, you know how Gantz keeps making things more challenging. That's basically what the computer did.
I was like,
we
got you.
Okay, I get it.
We got you.
Mm-hmm. Literally. They put me out the pasture. But yeah, I still love that game, man. Didn't get enough credit. And actually, what was it? I did get found out because somebody was asking how many screens I had. And I was like, I'm watching Bayonetta 3. And I was watching, was it Maximilian Dude play it, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not impressed. I think Bayonetta has finally fell off.
You think so?
And
it's such like a niche thing, though. I mean, maybe not so much, but it was like, maybe because it was such a long wait, I bet, dude,
Well,
like
from what I can tell, this Bayonetta, it's either a fusion of the actual witch and the little girl in the first one, or it's just a little girl that's a witch now. So pretty different. And plus it's Nintendo, so the sex appeal ain't there as much.
Yeah. They toning it down.
Mm-hmm.
They really.
Now they're not even fighting angels. They're fighting like primordial advanced humans or something with liquid blades. I'm like,
Okay.
all right,
It sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, eh. It's like she can turn into a spider now to climb on stuff. She can turn into, was it a hawk or something? Just a whole bunch.
Okay.
Compared to DMC,
Like, we got to make her OP.
just like, nah. Man, the first Bayonetta, mad respect. Get them rings. Get on that. Well, let me not say that. Just get them rings. Because that's how Bayonetta rolled. But, yeah. It could be I'm out of touch with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all your fault, Rob.
Because I didn't transition over to Nintendo.
You're the problem, Rob. It's all
Yeah.
you.
Oh, man.
You're just so
Yeah, I was
like,
listening
cool-
to the last Fragtober. Frega kind of showed his age. Like he went to some convention recently and introduced his kid to the creator of Qbert, right? And then he said he played Gyrus for the first time, and I'm like, really? Like I played that when I was a kid. So I think the Nintendo was like after his time. Like
Yeah, that's how it is now. I mean, shoot, when I went to Anime USA and they had the arcade room and they had like Dragon Ball Super, I was like, all right, let me see what the hardcore players are. And they were doing like 3-hit auto combos and then popping people up for the air combo and then 3-hit and then knockdown. I was like, oh my gosh, they're only using the square button. Let me walk away. Let me just slowly walk away. Just because I used to play the hell out of that game. Even though it's fairly easy, but yeah, it's different. It's definitely different now. There's a whole nother group of discussions with that. You know, are fighting game companies making, these titles easier to play so they can reach a broader audience, and does it weaken the highly skilled players?
Yeah, I don't know. It has to be a balance.
Yeah,
because you don't want to intimidate new people, but at the same time you want easy to learn, tough to master.
Yeah,
that's why I always felt like Dead or Alive was always tough to it was easy to learn but tough to master. Like the counters and stuff that you could do. Same thing with something like Soul Calibur or something like that, you know what I mean? I always felt like it was like a
yeah, you just need two of my favorite fighting games.
Yeah. 6 was disappointing. Dead or Alive 6 was actually both. Even the new Soul Calibur was pretty disappointing to me. You're like, oh, you want to unlock? You want new stuff? Just buy it. I'm like, what? Like, like Weapon Master mode where you unlock the different weapons and stuff, or you unlock the eyeball guy by doing stuff, or you know what I mean? It was like, how in Soul Calibur 2 you had all like the Lizard Man and the Mercenary and all those people you could unlock and stuff by just playing through the Weapon Master mode and all the different things you got to unlock and stages. And now I'm like, oh no, DLC, here it is. I was like, what? That's it? You're just gonna buy it? I just gotta buy it? Like,
no work required.
Hell, man. I was like, why am I playing the game?
Lizard Man was basically because it was Cassandra for furries, I think.
Oh yeah.
I like his throws. He just whip you up in the air and stuff. You're like, yeah, dude. Crawl at you.
Cassandra and Sophatia. Lord. Always in for a fight with those.
I worked at an arcade for a while, and I got really good at Soul Calibur 2. And yeah, I used to really piss people off with Voldo, but nobody could beat me.
Oh man, yeah, that Voldo.
Weird too, man.
Yeah, that whole combo of trying to figure out if he's gonna go overhead and then low swipe you and then drop down to the ground, start moving around, and explosion. Oh my god. I got hit by that many times.
Yeah, his combos and dodging were pretty OP.
Yeah.
There's always those guys that you could do like weird stuff though that were always kind of fun to play though. Like I loved Yoshibitsu just because you could do so much weird stuff, and he just was such a cool character with his odd like I'm gonna stab you through myself, and his arm helicopter and hop on the sword and pogo. I was like, dude, this guy's awesome.
Yep. He has so many different talents and skills. You just didn't know what he was gonna do. And those two characters are different, comparable to, like Eddie Gordo being introduced in Tekken. Some people like Eddie, but I played a lot of people that didn't know how to play the game that love Eddie Gordo, so it was like, nah. Yes, 80s made, no Nintendo either. Nintendo is Disney incarnate.
Dude, I love Nintendo, man. Okay, Nintendo, bro. Love Nintendo, dude.
I grew up off of Nintendo, yes. I admit it, Super Mario Brothers. I'm glad they got a movie out coming up. Hell, I even like the old one with Dennis Hopper and John
It was
Leguizamo.
good. It was good for what it was, man. Like, a lot of people shit on it, but it's like, dude, y'all don't know how lucky we were to have like any type of video game movie, bro. We were like, oh,
Yeah.
fucking Mario Brothers, like, wow.
Exactly.
Now
I'll
they'll
take
do
it.
like, here's a cinematic Mario Brothers universe, and it's like, dude, man, we're lucky to get one Mortal Kombat movie. We were stoked as all get out, dude. Street Fighter, we're like, cool, man. Like, what? A video game movie? You're out of your mind.
Street Fighter with Van Damme.
Mhm.
And Raul Julia, he went way over
Yep.
the top on that movie.
Dude, it was great. It was a Tuesday.
That was his last movie, wasn't it?
It
Yeah.
was.
So here's the thing. He had
Poor Raul Julia.
it was a Tuesday line, right? And then he also had his Def line, which I don't think M. Bison has ever said, but I guess it was like a Raul Julia impromptu. But he says, like, after he psycho crushes Van Damme, he's like, now's a good time to pray to your God, for I have embraced Satan as he fell from heaven. I was like, what?
Yeah,
Oh
you're
my
like,
God.
what? Like,
And Bison never said that. Yeah,
It's like,
that
I'm
was over the
goated,
top. I
dude. I
was
don't
like,
know.
man. That's when you know you got too much acting talent. You just steal the damn show. What's his name say? Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. I don't study the script studies me. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just a dude disguised as another dude playing another dude.
Yep. And can't nobody attack him for that. Nobody. Just because of the circumstances. I love it. Like, that was, to me, Tropic Thunder is like one of the last good comedies. Unfiltered.
Yeah. Yeah, there hasn't really been much since then.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, JBot, these art jams have forced me to be a little more resourceful with Pinterest, especially with the the character or whatnot. So I was like, did I draw this person correctly? Did I remember to, give them this gear and that gear?
Mm-hmm. What's Conan's? It's like, all right, I'm gonna draw a barbarian dude.
Mm-hmm.
He can have a shirt. He cannot have a shirt. He can wear armor. He cannot wear armor. It's like I went with like whatever was available at the time, which was always kind of cool,
Yeah.
Sometimes he'd have a broadsword. Sometimes he'd have like a scimitar or something. He's
Mm-hmm.
whatever he got, dude.
Yep. He put it to work. So what comicsgate titles are you guys catching up on?
I'm trying to think.
I finally read Wraith of God. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Which one?
Good.
Aaron Lepresti's book, Wraith of God.
Yes. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Okay. Yeah, I backed that one, so I can't wait to get it. I promised myself I'll cut through Hush because I didn't read it back when Luthor was president, which I should have, because I got Batman, Superman, Public Enemy, and I love that, that series for the most part. But after that, I got Overmind from John Della Rosa. Yeah, I'll check that out. I kind of like the main character's costume, so.
Yeah, that's an awesome design.
Mm-hmm. And then I haven't read Inglorious Rex 1 yet.
You ever said that was pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. EVS was reading a couple pages of it, and it really broadened my perspective of kind of like the the old school boxing scene with the fight promoter, and then maybe some mafia stuff going on in the background.
Mhm.
And then all at the same time, it's just not just boxers fighting each other. They're controlling these
Yeah.
giant monsters.
Yeah.
Even if it has that like sci-fi setting, I really like combat sport comics. They're like so few and far between, but
Yeah.
they're actually really good. Like there's a Japanese book called Hajime no Ippo, and it's just about some young kid like coming up in the boxing world, and it's it's really good.
Dude, it's probably one of my favorite anime shows.
Yeah.
The action in that is so good. The characters are so good. Like, oh god, everybody's like, oh man, Demon Slayer, dude. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I keep getting that too. You gotta see Demon Slayer.
It's
like,
whatever, these are like fucking Ippo smash all you nerds, bro. He's like, I gotta train. Let me hammer this log into this side of the fucking hill, man. So with my fists. Yeah,
I think
first theme song from season 1, dude.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I was listening to that when I'd go to the gym, man. I put that shit on my headphones, bro. It's like, all right, man, let's go lifting.
Nice. Perfect motivator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think was it Baki the Grappler really helped putting a lot of bringing more attention to the fight scene, underground fighting. Kumite basically.
I seen the original animated OVA back in the 90s.
Yeah, it was fun, right?
Yeah, it was cool.
Freaking Dopo Orochi just slicing through a brick cylinder from the inside. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it kind of irks me when they're doing like, oh, here's all this whatever, all these like Jump Force and you know what I mean, all these games. I'm like, bro, where's Ippo, man?
God forbid they put Yujiro Hama in one of those kind of games. Hell, put him in Dragon Ball Fighters. Why not? And I've seen
the only like recent like indie comic I've seen that is like about combat sports. What the fuck was it? It was like a Orgasm Girl. Have you heard of that?
What?
Yeah, no.
Tell more.
Okay.
It's about this chick that goes into like kickboxing or something, or like MMA. And she could make people instantly orgasm by touching them.
Damn.
So I guess that's how she wins fights or something. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
It sounds like it.
Sounds like
and it's not Japanese, which makes it even more weird.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's like a female rendition of Orgasmo. I'm sorry that I know that. But...
Oh, that Matt Stone and Trey Parker movie?
Yeah. Crazy movie. Yeah, it's probably like a female version of that. That's what I was mentioning to, since, there's no, what did they call them? Oh, okay, 80s Mesa and Glorious Rex is good.
Good, yeah.
Look forward to it. Yeah, I think I mentioned the JBot before when it came to anime, that I had seen one of the greatest stories ever told as far as anime series back in the 80s. But they had to attach themselves to a adult studio in order to get it published. So it had, those themes in there. But, not too many people really know of it. Yoro Sakadoji, The Legend of the Overfiend.
Oh, snap.
Huh?
I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
So you're familiar with that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Back in the day, dude, there was no like, well, this is what's good, this is what's whatever. The only anime that we got was all like for grown-ups.
Yeah, the crazy thing with
There was no like kids, so everything was like adults only. So we're like, okay, so yeah, maybe you'll rent something like Wicked City and see a titty or something, or like Demon City Shinjuku or something. You're like, all right, whatever, those movies for adults. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, that one was like, you're like, damn, dude.
Dude, it was
what the?
it was so unique because every time something deal with intercourse or whatever, like it was the end of the world, or you just triggered something, and then the god of destruction shows up and starts wiping out a whole city. And I still to this day I stand by this statement, is that in a way it might have given birth to Dragon Ball, because they had the demon realm, the human realm, and the beast realm. And the beast realm, some of the characters, when the god of destruction was wrecking stuff, looked just like Dragon Ball Z characters. They had blonde hair, they were flying, they're pretty oversized. But they got wiped out just like everybody else. It didn't matter how much passion they had, how many tears they had. Nagumo, his skin was made of dead human faces, and all of them shot hyper beams. So like how can you compete against that?
Yeah.
So, and then the fact that Dragon Ball Super introduced their version of the God of Destruction, I was like, I don't know. But that happens. I mean, some from 1986 influences something. Dragon Ball was 1989, I think, or 88.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they're pretty close together, so I wouldn't be surprised. But Amano Jaku was a pretty cool character for Urasaka Doji. Chop off that dude's head, his head will turn around and laugh at you. Then chop off his hand. His hand will float off to the side and shoot a beam, and then the nub that you chopped off.
Say it's gonna give you. It would give you the middle finger or something.
Yeah, like,
basically. Yeah. Very unique character for that time. And they had all kind of stuff. They had martial arts in it. They had their version of RoboCop, D9. In fact, one of the most sickest villains in that was the son of a scientist that worked with Adolf Hitler to try to bring out like one of their occult demons or whatever. So there's a lot going on in that series. And where everybody just kind of racing to figure out who the Overfiend was, which was kind of like the creator of all existence. If they were too late,
on a time limit.
Huh?
Sorry, hope we're not on a time limit. I just spent more time on this sword than I did with the figure.
No, man.
Yeah, I'm coasting. I'm coasting. After last week, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but this time I'm taking my time. JBot isn't too, he's not too ruthless when it comes to the deadline.
Oh, no, man. It's like, hey, man, stop when you want to stop. All right, cool. That's it. Let's put this back here.
But yeah, from seeing that anime or whatever you want to call it, it kind of covered everything, you know?
Wait, did I think I heard something, JBot. So you are reinforcing the distinction between anime and Japanimation?
Yes.
Did I hear that right?
Yes,
You
I'm
are,
taking it back. Like
Good.
there was no anime. We would call it Japanimation when it came out. Even the movie section was called Japanimation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was no, this is anime, which just means animation anyway. So it's like, okay. That's what they started doing, like, you know, But there was, I'm trying to think. It was Overfiend. What else? There was Guyver, Eighth Man After,
Mezzoforte,
yeah,
Kite.
yeah, Kite. Those were rough, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, ruthless.
But then you had like
Dominion,
Tank Police.
Dominion and Appleseed.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yep.
So everything was like when we would. It wasn't like there was no the closest thing that was like to like not being adult like that was like Ramna One Half. Everything else that you would rent was like movies.
And their standards were high back then, man. They were just like pumping out like 10s out of 10s, maybe a 9, but another 10.
That was funny. Like even like Project A-ko was done by like a hentai studio.
Yeah.
Really?
I love that movie. It's probably one of my favorites.
It was interesting how basically like her parents was like parody where like her father was kind of like Superman.
Yeah.
And his wife was like ironing his cape and stuff.
Yeah. They were reading the Daily Planet and stuff. They cut that out later. They were copyright reasons, unfortunately. But yeah. When she runs out the last day going to school, he's reading the Daily Planet and he has the glasses and she's like folding his cape or whatever. Yeah, and it's Lois Lane and that's cool.
Yeah. That one was tight. Then they started having what was that? You had dubbed, then you had subbed, and then they started cutting stuff out of the dub. Like the American edition of a particular anime.
Yeah, even like they started changing. Now they're changing. The dubs are changing stuff about it too.
Damn.
You know, to try and make it less whatever misogynistic or whatever stupid shit they keep talking about.
And that answers Shane Davis's question right there. He was asking that maybe like a month ago. If you know, kind of like the cancel culture had reached anime, but
people don't like it. That's the thing too, is that people don't like it.
Yeah.
Some studios are like, yeah, well, you know, but other people, other ones are like, hell no, dude.
I thought anime studios would be a little more resistant to that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I think they have studios that want they wanna infiltrate the West, you know.
True.
Just like anything else, you know, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to do it that way. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, manga has already like dominated the world pretty much.
Yeah.
And they would have to be stupid to take like advice from a couple of idiots from the United States, you know.
Yeah,
it really is just like a few people.
Yeah, it's like, is it just because you're not making a movie in Hollywood that you don't believe that you've made it or something? But it's like, dude, fuck Hollywood, man. Hollywood sucks.
Yeah,
it's where shit goes to die, man. It's like all the creativity freaking left,
out the
dude.
pastures.
Yeah, it's like back in the day, you used to have like artists in there, and even when you know, I was watching the Halloween, and so we're watching it last night, and it was I had on Philo, and it was I didn't know it was gonna play commercials. So it starts playing commercials. I'm like, oh hell no, man. I'm renting this, so I ended up paying the $3 to rent it off of Amazon, and so I'm watching it, and like right after he murks the first babysitter in the car, you know, but you're like watching this movie like build and the tension, and you're like, oh cool, man. And I'm like, oh man, this is like art, dude. Like you're watching Halloween, and that's just like art now. You're like, this is like art, dude. Like this is the way they're building stuff up, and just like, man, this is great. And then my daughter woke up and was at the bedroom door. I was like, hey, daddy. I'm like, oh, damn, I gotta shut this off now. But you're just like the soundtrack and the way they're building stuff and explaining things, and it's not like 80 damn. What the hell was I watching on Netflix? And it was ass, dude. It was like Blade of the 47.
You have to be a little more specific.
Yeah, right. It's called it's called Blade of the 47 Ronin.
Oh no.
And I'm like, all right. And it has like Mark Dacascos in it from like Brotherhood of the Wolf and like
Oh,
Only the
man.
Strong and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's my dude, man. All right, cool.
Yeah,
You know,
from
watching
Only
it.
the Strong.
Yeah. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, cool, man. This dialogue and this every scene was a horrible expedition dump with like these young people that couldn't act their way out of a paper bag,
Oh.
dude. I was like, what is? Oh, this is trash. This is just so trash.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give a ton of speaking lines to a bunch of nobodies who can't act. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was a tax write-off.
Wouldn't be surprised. Haven't seen Mark Dacascos since what was that, John Wick 4?
Yeah.
Or
80 says, just told everyone you are talking about anime. Hopefully the feminists come here to help you guys do better.
what the hell?
Do better.
80s. Why
That's
you
the answer.
rat-a-tat-tatting?
That's the answer. Do better. That's going to solve all the problems. Just like Falcon told all the Congress dudes in Falcon Winter Soldier. He's
See,
like, you
that's
guys gotta do better. Like, oh, thanks, Captain Obvious. Like, what the fuck, man? That's
See,
like,
like-
hey, go outside. Hey, it's raining outside. Yeah, I can see. You know, like,
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't think 80s May had that experience where, like, okay, and like what I went through when I was young, I was like, all right, Spider-Man, X-Men, you know, Superman, Batman, reading the comics and stuff. And then this military dude from the arcade gives me Street Fighter 2, the animated movie on
oh,
VHS.
dude, baller, bro.
Dude, that changed my world. I was
Yeah,
like,
man. After that,
I've
we
been
all were
reading
drawing
kids
Street Fighter
stuff.
characters.
yeah, getting it with blood and all that.
We're like, I'm gonna draw that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what really got me into it. Like, they took it to a whole nother level, and there was just so much good stuff from the 90s, well, 80s and up. Even some of the stories, like I think I mentioned to you before, JBot, called Judge, where this dude allegedly killed his wife, and he was put on spiritual court, and he had ghosts testifying against him. It's one of the weirdest things I ever seen, and he just swore up and down, you know, I didn't do it, I didn't kill my wife and all that. And the last witness was his wife's spirit, and she called him out guilty
Hell yeah,
as
he
a
did that
bug. You know, so it was wild, and he got executed. That was the end of it. He died. You know, it was like, wow.
His wife ratted him
How
out.
can you
and
argue
then-
with that? How you can argue with that?
You know, so that joint was wild. Seeing those at such a young age. Because like even the Marvel movies stuff during the 80s and 90s, they weren't up to par that big. So
No, they weren't. It was kind of
all-
a joke. We were all
Yeah.
hoping for something that was like good.
all we had was what? Incredible Hulk, you know,
Yeah.
Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno, which was good for what it was.
Yeah, we were like, this is great.
Yeah. But when that anime came a knocking, I was like, bruh, I didn't see what's going on here. Akira?
Yeah, when Akira came out, I didn't like it, man. I thought it was
Oh
boring.
man,
I never saw it until when I was older. I didn't see it when I was younger.
I rented it when I was like 13 years old, man. And I was
Mhm.
like, this is boring, man. I'm gonna go watch Guyver.
Yeah.
Just fight monsters and like breaking their arms and shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Different
boring,
weapons.
but I still like enjoyed watching it just because it was like there's nothing of that like caliber in terms of the animation. That was
Mhm.
also like that like dark and serious.
Yeah. Well, Akira?
Yeah, Akira.
Yeah, I'll watch Akira every now and then because it deals with an entire philosophy of energy and metaphysics and that kind of stuff. And it follows a tradition of when the military's in doubt, just shoot and try to bomb. And then it doesn't work, you know. And then what was it, the politician that was trying to collect the money and run, even though he had people to propagate, you know, the uprising. I was like, typical politician. 80s man, he said Mortal Kombat for life.
Combat for life.
With Christopher Lambert, yes. I don't know how they waited all that time and then they produced this the new one where you got superpowers when it was time for the tournament.
I kind of like that. You had to be chosen. Like I was like, okay, So then you had to have normal people just run around shooting fireballs and shit. I was like, okay, like you had to unlock your potential, almost like a mutant or something. I was like, all right, that's cool. That explains why they can do some stuff. But then they did nothing. It's like, man, it wasn't even a tournament.
Yeah, they're just taking each other out.
Yeah, and then they're like, I'm going to. It's like, dude, this dude's cheating and murking everybody. Like, y'all just gonna let that stand? Like,
so that's one of the things I didn't like about Baki on Netflix, because that's what they were doing. Like, dude was using like invisible wire to choke people out and shit, and decapitate, take off arms. And I was like, wait a minute, can somebody get in the ring? You know what I'm saying?
Just
and
like
then they eventually got there. Yeah.
It was like, what was another one that was another one that I watched recently was Megalobox.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good. And it's about
Megalobox, yeah.
Yeah, Megalobox was good. Yeah, that one was really good. I think they did a second season, but I heard it wasn't that good. But they pretty much it's like they do boxing with these exoskeletons. And then the one guy, he's trying to become a boxer, but he's just broke. So he gets this, this exo frame, but it's trash. So he ends up fighting without it. And he wins. And they're just like, what? Damn. So then he starts to call himself Gearless Joe. I guess it's another take on boxing. It's like a reimagining of an old school boxing manga. And then he's just fighting without the stuff, and that's how he like gets his notoriety, so he can like become like, I guess he wants to like make so much money, become like a champion or fight like the head guy or something. But yeah, that's a good one. Trying to figure out what the heck to do with this hand. Drawback of Blue Lion is like it's ass to erase. You're just like
I think this Conan is going to end up being more stylized than I planned, but so be it.
That's fine. Did you want to share what you were working on, Rob? I could post it on the screen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, now that you mention it, mine's coming out kind of a little cartoony, but it's fine.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It's fine.
Yeah, who cares, man?
Give him some oversized shoulders and all that.
Whoa.
But I'm trying to figure out a way where I can get this sword
that's
here, and then
that's basically Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have his other arm over here cross over to have a handful of skulls.
Okay.
If I can fit that in.
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Welcome, the Retro Gamer Levon 27. Say I'm new and just subscribe. My favorite anime is Yu Yu Hakusho because that series is so underrated, and I also love Shaman King too. Welcome, dude. Welcome.
Oh yeah.
Hell, Retro Gamer.
Yeah, Poltergeist Report. It was like the Yu Yu Hakusho movie way back in the day. That was like one of the first anime I ever saw. Sorry, Japanimation. I'm gonna put it under Japanimation.
So when I get older, I'm going to become a manga artist and start writing original stories for my manga series. Awesome. So I can draw, but not as well as you guys. I might need practice some more if I want to get better than that. That's all it is, Levon. That's all it is. Just practice. Just keep practicing.
Man, with all these manga artists I'm running into now, I'm so tempted to do a manga piece. But if I do, I got to be careful.
You might be sucked in.
Yep, my mind might wander, and then
don't go to the dark side, man.
I spent 15 years in the dark side. You know, if honestly, if I had never heard the one video that Shane Davis did where he was stating that like Japan is crushing the U.S. market, you kind of gotta buy American. I was like, damn, I ain't even think of that.
He's like, hell no, Pearl Harbor, not again.
Oh man,
not on my watch.
Yeah. You know,
sure that wasn't me.
That's why I was thinking. Because like when I was overseas, we had like this overnight shift. We had to look at radar and all that stuff. And we were in a room with Air Force, Army, Space Force, you know, pretty much all the branches. And you know, when the brass isn't there at night, you know, they're asleep. But I was watching like just videos of time elapse of Britt Booth's work. And I was like, oh my gosh, this takes so much effort and so much you know, time to render. I want to challenge myself and do it. So
with some exceptions, like I really fell back in with like American comic book artists only like a handful of years ago. And they got me back into drawing, and it was a whole thing. So
because like when I was trying to draw scenes from the Onslaught saga back in the 90s, what was it? It was like before 2000. I was like, I didn't understand some of the rendering choices. It made no sense to me. But I was like, okay, I'm a, you know, kind of copy it as best I can. But I just didn't understand it. But watching Midnight Run, Gundam Wing, Outlaw Star, Big O, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, and I was like, this is simplicity. You know, you draw the line weights, the character, and then you just add color. You know, the rendering is maybe about 2 layers at the most, as far as shading. And that's what I was like, man. I started drawing the manga way, which I did for a little bit.
Yeah, like who was it that said that it was I think it was somebody at DC who said that they lost an entire generation. But I think it started a little earlier than that. Like they started losing people like just a little earlier than that, and then the next generation was just like not there at all.
Yeah, I mean that happens at times. And as someone was saying on the podcast I popped up on, I think it was like Lord Crackheads or somebody, because I'll listen to just about anybody, you know, as long as they're not, you know, too buck wild. But what is the standard these days? So they were stating that like one of the last good villains that Marvel ever had was Onslaught. And when Onslaught was doing this thing, you know, that was the last time I was there. After that, I checked out.
Yeah.
You know, that big battle where they fought him, and you know, they beat him. And next thing you know, they had what was it, Avengers Reborn with the Rob Liefeld, I think he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
We had that big chested Captain America.
Yeah, man. What?
Yeah, I checked out.
I love Rob Liefeld too, man. But it was just like, dude, like X-Force was my shit when they came out, man.
Yeah.
X-Force and that issue with Juggernaut, and they had Spider-Man and stuff, man. That was awesome. But yeah, I was like, Rob, what the hell, dude? Like, what is going on, bro?
Yeah, that's the tough part with a lot of that. The end of an era.
Heard of Dan Fraga and even Rob Liefeld on this podcast talk an awesome story about that, because Marvel was claiming bankruptcy at the time. Like
that's right.
To. And then so he had like, this is back when they used zip disks. He had the pages on zip disks, and he's like, I'll give you the pages, and you but first you have to give me a check for the work for the pages. And so like Dan Fraga flew up there. He sent Dan Fraga up there to New York with the zip drive with all the pages on it. And he went to the Marvel offices, and pretty much just what he told them. And then they had to like cut him a check. He went and cashed a check, or deposited the check into Extreme Studios bank account or whatever. It cleared, and then Dan Fraga gave him the pages.
Yeah, it's like new treasure has been unlocked. For RPG. What you got cranking tonight, man? I hear them jams playing.
I had the same thing that I always have, man. I gotta do some new stuff. I gotta do a new playlist. This is Too Mellow, and I think this is Teddy Rockspin.
You said Teddy Rockspin?
Yeah.
For real? There's an artist named Teddy Rockspin?
Yeah.
The bear version of Chucky. I can dig it. Hey, why not get that, rekindle that energy, I ain't gonna lie, man. I got an addiction, and I blame Stranger Things for it.
What's that?
Synthwave.
Oh, I love Synthwave, dude.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't get into it until Stranger Things, and then I realized there are like people making whole albums on it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Freaking what was it? Time Cop 1983. Man.
The Midnight is another good one where they do synthwave, but with but it's like rock with like music and stuff, like with lyrics and stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Time Cop. I'm trying to think. What's another one? There's a couple of them that are really good.
Yeah, there's Time
Gunship.
Cop 1984. Yeah, Gunship. There's another artist that like he's actually kind of weird. Like he came up doing synthwave, and then he kind of broke out and did something a little different. But his name's Trevor something, and his music is really cool. But it's kind of strange. Like you gotta look it up yourself and check it out.
And then that set me up and got me hooked onto Chillgressive, because Chillgressive kind of like has that what do you call it? Kind of has like that cyberpunk feel to it.
Yeah, Levon, keep that stuff under wraps, dude. Don't. He had a. Where's he at? Not that one. I lost him. Where was he at?
Let me see.
Kirby. Oh, here he says he's working on a series, and he's not going to say the name because a lot of people that steal names out there. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Also, if you haven't already, Retro, Google that name and make sure it's not in use.
Hail, Kirby. Good. All right. Cool.
What up, Kirby? because that's
Captain
one.
Boob America. Yeah, I was like, what?
Hey.
I was like, what is going on, man?
Yeah.
You guys have a
Luckily,
Discord
Cap
or
was
no? Yeah, I do not have a
Kirby
Discord.
hid most of his sins behind that shield. So.
I have a Discord, but I'm only on it when I'm doing like live stream, draw stream on Twitch or so. I got a bunch of folks on there that argue. So I'm telling you, man, I had to curve the mob for a minute on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was the volume was low, but like one person was debating, he was explaining that, hey, you got to pay for public school. You know, if you're not rich, your education level is only going to be but so high. And then the other person was saying, oh, so I looked it up and it says that, you know, public school is free. And you could do, it's like, dude, the other person was saying, dude, I live in Japan. I'm telling you directly. You know, and I had to interject. I was like, unless you're there, when it comes to like research and stuff and facts and all that and stuff that's in books and documents, internet, I mean, it's great reference material. It's a viewpoint. Mm-hmm. But honestly, unless you are there experiencing it firsthand, it's tough to verify. It really
might not be giving you the details on it either.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I heard it's free. Well, only if you make $20,000 a year, or
exactly.
You know what I mean. Something. It could be some kind of caveat to it. You know what I mean.
Yep. And you know, we were able to, you know, just have our different opinions, and nobody was rage quitting, so it was cool.
I was trying to think of that. I had a back to the topic of synthwave. Like, there's another artist that I was trying to think of, and it was Mega Drive. That was the name of it. That's a really good. It's a really good musician.
I'm trying to think of one that was another album I listened to is called Redline. I'm trying to think who the heck it is. So damn good.
Have y'all heard of Ghost Hack?
No.
Ghost Hack has got some pretty interesting tracks. It's different from synthwave, but they even got some tracks that sound like it's from old school anime. Like one of the tracks is literally called Blatant Plagiarism. you know, and it's a pretty good song.
This ain't coming out the way I want it. Why this arm gotta be so damn difficult? That'll probably be my next playlist. I'll do some synthwave. There's a guy on YouTube that puts together playlists. It's called White Bat Audio. And he does some badass playlists, but you could just buy the albums, and it's all like royalty free. Like you can use it on your streams and stuff.
Yeah.
And this stuff is pretty dope. So I'm like, I'm just gonna buy an album.
Yeah, I've been looking for more copyright free music, and yes, I do have subscriptions to video editing, apps that have copyright-free music. But YouTube still strikes my videos.
Yeah, sometimes it sucks, man. You'd be like, dude, seriously?
Yeah, like one time I was so tempted to type to them with the appeal. It's like, who's copyright striking my stuff? Hunter Biden?
Sometimes it's like somebody will buy it, use it for something, and then they'll have claim to it or some stupid shit.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I have apps where I can make my own music. I've made my own music in the past. It's just going to take up more time.
Yeah.
To get a good track going about 4 hours. Get the beats right, picking the right right set of snares, drums, and then melody, sound effects.
Let's see.
That's the other thing I'm kind of dreading going into this issue number 1 of VKP, like with the lettering. Like you can do pretty good lettering in Clip Studio Paint, but as far as like title, you know, got to get permission or make it yourself, right?
Typography is my Achilles heel. I can't do that shit.
Yeah, it's a pain.
I might when I'm ready to start doing my book, or when I do my Hammerlock ash can, I think I'll just have. I told my wife, because she's an illustrator, you know, she's a graphic designer, so why not just like have you do the lettering for me and stuff? She's like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Hell yeah.
She's like, yeah, cool, no problem. I'll do an illustrator. All right.
Yeah. That's what I call a team.
Lucky you.
So I'm like, cool, man. Like, let's see. It's like, I'll give you credit. It'd be cool.
Hell yeah. Put her name in the credits and everything.
Yeah. I hate this dang paper, dude. It just smudges everything. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Is that sacrilege paper?
I don't know. It's like the beeswax paper, or some bees, or some shit with bees, man.
No, not the bees.
Not the bees. The fucking Vespis, bro.
If I do a Google search for some shit with bees, will the paper come up? Or?
That'd be hilarious.
Oh man.
I don't know, some shit with bees.
I was on vacation, and I was like, I'm gonna need some paper. I'm gonna do some drawing while I'm chilling here in the mountains. And so I went to the place, and I was like, I want some big paper. And they gave me this thing, and this thing was like, I don't know, $30. Like, geez, man, like, damn, bro.
So I'm wondering now, is Henry Cavill, is he going to drop out of Enola Holmes? Well, no, they just did
I think they finished 2.
Yeah, they just finished that one, yeah.
Because he was talking, that's where he was talking about Superman at like the premiere.
Yeah, he was
I mean, the guy's barely in it, dude. Like, honestly, like the guy's barely in it. Like in the first one, he was barely in it. This whole shit was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it was more about 11
than
anything else.
I hate when all of a sudden they turn and start talking to the camera. I'm like, no.
Be like, I want fans to know.
You're like, by the way, my name is blah 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 blah.
Too funny.
I'm just like, I liked it better when you didn't talk.
Yeah. What is this brouhaha that you bring to my ears? Once again, 80s picks a great choice. While I've been drawing this, I've been having Conan playing in my head the whole time. The soundtrack. That was actually part of my original Twitch playlist. But I don't put it on there because, you know, Twitch will be like, mute. Sure, I got Bloodsport on there too.
Yeah, that's what I got to clip, man. I got to clip that that part where the dude's like, "Okay, USA." Like, I love that part. Like, nobody ever talks like, dude, I got to put that in my intro, man.
That's 80s made right there.
Yeah. Okay, USA.
The legendary Jackson. Let me find out the true story, because like now they're saying that Frank Dukes never really won all of those record-breaking, you know.
Oh, hell no, dude. It didn't make no damn sense once he told the story.
Yeah.
You're like, you mean this guy fought like 90 people in like 2 days? Like, if you just the math of his stuff didn't make any sense. Yeah, the guy's full of shit, dude.
Let me find out like the real hero was actually 80s made back in the day.
It was me.
Oh man.
his buddy would like, okay, I'm gonna drop me off here. He would drop him off in the woods, and then the next day he would take a duffel bag, and then the next day he'd come pick him up, or 2 days later he'd come pick him up from the woods, and he's like, yeah, I got this trophy. He'd walk out of the woods with a trophy. He's like, yeah, I got this trophy.
Serious?
Yeah, dude. It's like you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, the internet was Frank Dukes' worst damn thing because they could like verify this shit.
Maybe he fought in the Galactic tournament.
Galactic, yeah, right. Time and space didn't matter.
Hold on, say that again. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Damn. My speaker messing with me again. See?
Is it? It's trying to talk to you. It's trying to take over your house, bro.
Golly. Bose. I bought Bose, not Alexa. Damn.
I better put nipples on here, man. He's gonna be like, "Where's the nipples, bro?"
Oh my God. Nipple check.
He's like, "They ain't got no nipples, man."
This is fucking bullshit. Furthermore,
no nipples, not approved.
Whoa! What is up, Drew?
Wow, he actually. What are the odds that you're?
Listen, man, it actually told me you were here this time, man.
What is up, Rob? And I think what is this also another Rob here, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, Replicant. Are you Rob? You're not Rob too, right? You're just Replicant, right? Or are you also a Rob?
yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not Rob Arnold. No.
Well, I know that. I know you also was.
Yeah, he's thinking of Drew. You're thinking of Rob the Replicant.
I feel like I always have to clarify because people keep making that mistake. It's like, bro, I've been around for like 4 years. So like, can you please eventually get it right? Like.
Well, I'm just boomerang over here, so I mean, don't mind me.
Sounds about right.
No.
I'm glad you got your setup up.
No, I'm talking about other people.
I'm glad you're able to pop on, Drew. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I had to unbury my drafting table. I've been doing so many things other than art, like traditional art and my comic videos. It's like I had to take off because like we had like the hurricane, we had stuff all over the house. It's crazy. So anyway, I just finally cleared out my cave here, and I said, "Oh, there's JBot again, wondering where the hell I am." So I guess I'll swing by and do some actual drawing, like my namesake, like one thing to do.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, it's been a minute. So
that's the only thing that's useful drawing.
Another day in the life.
I'm glad you're able to make it, dude.
Thank you very much. What are you fine gentlemen working on?
So they said, the art jams. What I've been doing is having the chat give the suggestions, and it seemed to be pretty fun. So they 80 suggested Conan. So here we are.
Oh, so you're doing Conan?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to start working on Conan too then?
Not if you don't want to, man.
I've never drawn anything like Conan before. So.
Me neither.
I know it's been a minute since you know what I mean? Like I don't even know if I've ever drawn Conan myself. You know?
I've never drawn Conan before.
I've never drawn like fantasy because it's like I understand the draw to like bare-chested women and bare-chested men fighting monsters and stuff like that. It's just never been my audience.
Yeah.
Damn. Wait a minute. You telling me I could have drawn a bare-chested female version of Conan? Damn!
Dude,
That's-
draw
that's
whatever,
kinda
Missed
the
that
point.
opportunity.
whatever you wanted.
Would that be Conette?
Red Sonja.
Conan. Well, that's what Red Sonja really is. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I saw this tweet from Rob Liefeld before I signed in here.
Conan.
He says, "I can't believe Superman's not a top 3 book for DC." I'm like, really? I mean, can't you believe that, Rob?
Yeah.
Well,
Why do you think
he
that might
has-
be, Rob?
He has to give his public statement, kind of like, "Oh, I'm surprised," kind of thing. He can't be too blunt with that.
Well, he
That's too
also.
There's
I mean,
too many gangs involved in that.
Well, he also was. I was listening to his podcast the other day, because just if you listen to his podcast, like how much he loves comics,
Mm-hmm.
dude, it's like it's commendable how much this guy loves comics. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he loves comics, and he's even was saying it's like I don't want to go and take these free invites to stuff because I don't want to feel obligated to have to say stuff, nice things anymore.
Good.
Pretty much is what
Keeping
he
it
said.
real.
So I'll go see it if I want to go see it, unless it's like something that he's involved in or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Deadpool or something like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, otherwise, he pretty much said on his last podcast that he doesn't want to take because he doesn't want to feel obligated to have to say something positive about something.
Good. That way he can speak freely.
Well, I mean, he can. I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of people just like saying what they mean, and because it's like you're not gonna be able to. To me, I believe that the best thing to do is just be honest with people, and it's like, look, I love you, bro, but this is shit. So
Yeah.
that's
The
the reason why I'm telling you.
Yeah,
This.
see, 80 said, no nipples and Netflix talk. What the fuck?
Yeah.
See, I'm about to hurt 80's feelings because the sword covers up the nipples. So
All you have to say is they're there.
we're going to get them.
Let's see. Kirby says there's an app that you point your phone at your drawing and it pops out as a 3D pet.
Wow.
I saw a Japanese artist pop out his drawings and then look at the camera and smile as it pointed at his nipple.
No.
And
Okay.
then the app popped out and it
Mm.
ran around. He fed it and everything. I think the
hell
tech
with
is
that.
called augmented reality.
Mm-mm. No. I don't want no part of that.
It's probably the same thing like the Pokemon Go app. That you're like, I'm gonna
Oh,
take
yeah.
a picture with my Squirtle.
Yep. I was playing.
And Drew
Was it,
got booted. Drew's back.
What happened?
I don't know.
I did not do anything.
I didn't know he left.
The only bummer I found out with Melon app is that if your internet isn't that great, it just kicks you out all the damn time.
Yeah.
Well, I've got like 400 megabit per second down, so it's
Yeah.
not crappy internet.
Yeah. In other words, Drew's like, I ain't poor, bitch.
And the other thing I noticed too, when somebody goes to like a video, I can't hear the video at all. It's like while I'm on mute, my sound is on mute with Melon.
Huh.
But little kinks. Melon, I think I don't know if it's fairly new.
It is,
But-
yeah. You could shoot them a message too. You could be like, hey, like when I stream and I'm getting no audio, and they'll email you right back
Okay.
and be like, okay, what are you using? Like what's your operating system? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they'll try and figure it out.
Shoot, if they could help me figure out how to configure my OBS with all my overlays with Melon, I'm hip. I'll be down for that. Definitely. But yeah, I'll send them a message on that issue.
Looks like you got a happening chat here, dude. We got 87 chats. Nice.
Yeah, it's popping off, man.
Kirby.
This man's Pokemon was his nip. Okay. Yeah.
See, I was playing DX2, was a devil summoner. And it's a mobile game. but it's part of that whole Shimigami Tensei Nocturne RPG series. Same folks that brought
Your Persona and stuff.
Persona. Yep.
Persona.
Yep. All those Digital Devil Saga and all those.
Mhm.
And those games I think are so unique because for me, when I played Nocturne, first of all, I got it back in the day because it was the first RPG to feature Dante from Devil May Cry.
Mm.
And they put him in the story, and he was only in the American version. He wasn't in the Japanese version. So it was a very unique flip-flop, so to speak.
Huh.
But comparable to Pokemon, like every character was like from a certain type of mythology. So they had, they had Loki, they had Raichu from, Chinese mythology or Japanese mythology. They had Willow Wasp, they had fairies, they had freaking what's his name? Wulong from Chinese mythology. They had Metatron. They had the entire hierarchy of angels. They had the Seraphim. They had Lucifer. They had Beelzebub.
What are you talking about, dude?
It's a game called Shimigami Tensei Nocturne. And,
Wow,
it was
that's
released
like the most anime manga thing ever.
Yeah. So the game had I think 7 different endings.
Is Mobig's gone yet?
Mobig's like, I'm out.
Nah.
we-
Mission accomplished. The power of the press triumphs.
I mean, it's like after you've got like the 25th 4-syllable named character, I'm like, okay, tapping out.
Glad my psychological tactics work. But no, it was such a unique game. And then when they
You want to know
made
if it's
the
Japanese? Just count the syllables.
And then like the subtitles in terms of like Shimigami Tensei, Nocturne, Second Alpha,
Yeah.
Birth by Sleep. It's
Street
like,
Fighter
what the-
Ultra Alpha
It's too
2
long.
Turbo.
Super Advanced Champions Edition.
Yep. Yep.
I wonder if those naming conventions of things that get translated in English, I wonder if there's like some kind of weird group of executives that throw a bunch of shit onto the name because they think it sounds cool, or that's what those kiddos are gonna like. We're gonna put in like radical because that's one of those words that they like.
Well, that's why people were they were cracking on Akira Toriyama with the Dragon Ball movie that came out. Was it Dragon Ball Superhero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Got to say super twice.
Yeah.
It was super.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dragon Ball Superhero.
And then everybody just calls it Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what he should have did.
Yeah.
But I mean, they stole from what was that Android 19 or whatever that anime was called.
Oh, was that? I mean,
Cyborg 6 or something.
009 or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, this movie is not really Dragon Ball. It's like a combination of everything you could possibly steal. And you still made Cell look bad.
What do you want to
I do not
steal?
approve.
Everything.
Yeah. And at a point where I felt like I got robbed and I didn't get my money's worth, it's like, if I watch a Dragon Ball movie, I need to see Goku die at least twice. You know what I'm saying? That's sufficient enough for me to accept the fact that he's about to OP, the main big bad. But he wasn't even the main character in it. He was up there training in space, with Whis on him. And I was like, bruh, that's it? And here's what ticked me off. For anybody that's seen Dragon Ball Super Broly, with as much fun that Broly was in that anime, this dude was forced to sit back and watch Vegeta and Goku fight. That was whack. I mean, like, taxing and vexing my soul. You got Broly, like one of the most powerful people out there, which, you know, I'm definitely over Dragon Ball, but, you know, I'll watch it every now and then.
I have a question.
This guy's doing nothing. I was like, oh, that hurts. But go ahead.
Besides Rob, does anyone else know what the hell Rob's talking about?
Right, I don't. I do not.
Don't pay me no mind. I'm just saying, what's that?
I'm following.
No, I mean, I just want to make sure because maybe you all can help me out because I get to watch second one of Dragon Ball or read word one of Dragon Ball.
No, I mean, hey, I'm
not
over
hating,
it.
I'm just saying I just don't know. So I mean, if you wonder, it's like why doesn't Drew like chime in here on like the finer points of like Scripture has no idea. So
well, you got the better of two evils between Dragon Ball and the way they're treating Spider-Man. At least, you know, Spider-Man's doing a lot better than, you know, Grandfather Goku, you know.
Wow. Okay. I will take your advice, your word for it. It's always fun when you come back to drawing after you haven't done it in a minute. It's like I calibrate everything again.
Indeed. Yeah, JBot, I remember you were talking about earlier how it's harder to erase those blue lines compared to regular lead. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I haven't had much experience with the blue.
It's a different type of pencil.
Mm.
It's a different type of lead. It's like almost like a color pencil.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it looks cool.
And it makes it easier to put it on the light table too. So, yep. Smooth transition.
I think I'm done in terms of like adding more to the picture. I think I might just start rendering some stuff just to see what turns out.
So what else is new?
That's a good question.
I don't know, man. Odin launched his book.
He did?
Yeah, on Saturday he launched his book. Yeah, so I think he's at 2K right now, I think.
I will have to go look at that.
Yeah. And then he has a black and white version and actually a colored version. The colored version looks pretty sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Oh yeah, that's the other. Go ahead. You got it.
Is he on Indiegogo with that?
Yeah.
Is he shadow banned?
I don't know. I know when he launched, he was having problems with like getting confirmation. Like when people were backing it when he was launching.
That was a site-wide thing though.
Yeah. And it was a site-wide thing, so I don't know if people are still being shadow banned. I don't know.
I
guess it depends on the week.
Yeah, well, there's that. I heard it was a CG thing, so I was just curious.
Yeah, there's like a code or something that's attached to the. From what I've heard, they found the actual code that does it.
And a code attached to every CG campaign?
I think any campaign that gets shadow banned, I guess it has a certain code in the description or in the something, from what I understand.
That's crazy.
But don't quote me on that too much. I've only been half paying attention.
It almost sounds like a logic bomb. You know, time release, when certain conditions are met, and then, you know, kind of like a virus comes out and affects your computer based on something. Man, Procreate, I swear, I got to give them kudos every time. Because when it comes to sketching is so free on Procreate compared to like Clip Studio Paint. Everything gets all complicated with Clip Studio Paint. You can make some great stuff on there, don't get me wrong. but Procreate has a minimal interface, and I guess it's kind of the closest thing to like actual drawing.
Now, do you have the where it makes your lines more straight, like a steadiness on it, or do you have that off?
I took off all stability, so that way, if I wanted to go to traditional, you know, I know that's my actual steady hand and skill.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the past, I would rock out artwork a lot faster because I would have the stability on. But it's a handicap. Because, you know, if I were to go back to traditional, I'm used to thinking, you know, my muscle memory is thinking, oh, I can draw whatever line I want with curve, and it'll come out fine with traditional art. That's not the case. I just stopped using the stabilizer altogether.
I'm gonna have to try that with one of the
Hey,
brushes.
use it. There are plenty of tools there.
Mhm.
But I definitely plan on doing some original pieces. And while everybody's here, let me ask y'all this. If I were to come up with a piece, a digital piece of art, and I got it printed onto a canvas, and I deleted the file, and it was one of a kind, nobody else could duplicate it because they didn't have the file technically. Would that be worth the amount of what traditional art's worth?
I guess you're talking about a one-off print. So
I don't know.
I would honestly, and people are going to murder me over this, I would make that an NFT because then it would definitely be one of a kind. So, but that's entirely up to you. But you would have to be. It couldn't be just like something you print out in your laser jet, and it's like a black and white, like 72 DPI. I mean, really, honestly, to tell you the truth, though, it just matters whether someone wants to put value on it. I mean, if you print something out like that, and Elon Musk decides, "Oh shit, I gotta have that," you know, and it gives you like $50,000 for it, then there you go. So, and that's really how all art is, honestly. You know, it's just what people have decided is art and is valuable, and that there's a demand for it. So, but you're a good enough artist.
I suppose the buyer would have to take you on your word that the buyer would have to take you on your word that the original file was originally gone. So.
I mean, with some, like my case, I would definitely, like, if I say I'm going to do that, I'm so hard on myself when it comes to like keeping my word. Like if I say something, I'm going to try my best to reinforce it. It would be hard to part with it. That's for sure, you know, whether digital file or traditional art. But you know, if that was something that I was going to do and advertise it as that, yeah, I would definitely delete the hell out of the file. I'd probably do a video where I show people I'm deleting it.
You know, I totally understand what you mean about like feeling like it's your baby. You know, I see people like they put these projects up and they say, "Oh, you can buy an original page of the art," and I'm like, "Screw that! No, I'm gonna keep that."
Yeah.
Like, if it turns out to be valuable, I want my family to have it for posterity, right? So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. Although, like, it's funny though because, like I was telling you guys earlier, I was working on this NFT project. I finished it. It's all done. It's ready to go, and I was giving out some of the NFTs to people, and I was like looking at them like going, man, this is really cute. I don't know if I want to, because like it's like I feel like it's a little pet now, and it's like
don't want to part ways.
It's like, but then I have to turn my brain back on and say you can make as many as you want in any time because you're the artist. I was like, yeah, okay. So and I made them specific. What am I do with 1,000 versions of this thing? So but,
that's true. Oh no, I was thinking about maybe doing that in the future. Kind of like a one-off canvas print.
No, absolutely. If you can do that, like in a nice, high-quality type print, or like a canvas, like you said, yeah, no, that's good stuff. And art is art, man. It's like people like to say, well, this is not really art. I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, this eraser right here, like that could be art. You know, it's entirely, there you go. That could be art. This YouTube stream that we're doing right now, or no, not sure. This could be considered art. So
yeah, any type of content. Yeah, I feel like doing that would be, I guess, kind of like my variation of an NFT, since there's so much going on with those, and learning how to use an NFT wallet and a lot of that stuff.
you can make them straight up one off. So you can like put a piece of art up on like Rarible or OpenSea, and then just mint it, and then boom, it's an NFT, and you can sell it for whatever you want to sell it for, or not sell it. It's entirely up to you.
Oh yeah, true. That blockchain is a powerful thing.
It might be more legitimate. It might be more legitimate if you took a digital file and actually, you know, had it professionally printed out or whatever, and then like actually like hand inked it. Then
there's that, yeah.
Then it would be undeniably a one-off piece. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what PTP does. He'll digitally draw something, print it out on the comic paper, and then he'll ink it.
Nice.
So there's that too.
Yeah, I think Donald DeLay does that too.
Wow. So we
It
got
doesn't
some
surprise me
options
that
then.
Donald does that.
I mean, there's no. I mean, just look at even like my my page one for Magnificent Bastards. It was, I did the blue line, and then I just put a piece of paper over it, and I inked it on the piece of paper on the light board, just like the idea I stole from Drew. And now I have two. I can keep the blue line, and I can sell the ink. And they're both
great
original.
artist steal.
Yeah, and they're both original.
No statute of limitations. Got it.
I almost think something like that would be better, where you do it digital, you do the pencils digital, and then you do the rest of it traditional. You know,
Indeed.
something like that might work.
Yeah.
So has anyone read ISOM?
Yep.
I have not.
So what'd you think about it, Rob?
I have fun with it. When it
I want
comes
you to be
to
honest. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I want you to be honest.
all right, well, let me get the whole thing out. I'll explain to you just like I explained to Eric July on Twitter. I did a quick little review. I liked it for what it was because there was world building. There were new characters, you know, being introduced, and I was like, oh, well, what are these characters going to do? Oh, what are those characters going to do? And you know, I still had that boiling question in my mind based off of his first trailer, was whether or not he got Altoona from Family Matters, Steve Urkel's Aunt Una from Altoona. There were some parts where, as I mentioned to him, there were some parts where I felt like there should have been some dialogue or sound effects. But overall, you know, I enjoyed it. You know, like for me, I'm not that bad of a stickler when it comes to every single detail of what should have been. If someone's starting out is something new, yeah, I've benefited of the doubt because they're just starting. You know what I mean? The Avengers are gathering. You know, they didn't start off polished and perfect. You know, 10 years later, Eric July's, you know, doing this, and his stuff is the same as it is from the first ISOM, where it's like, okay, I know his pattern, and that's the plateau. But I think we all know here that he's not going to be the same. You know, his comic books are not going to be the same 10 years later as they are today. So I think it's a great start. You know, I enjoyed the idea of what may be to come. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it for what it was.
That's what the first book is. It's more of a setup for like a grander story. So
yeah.
And
it was more entertaining than the anime convention I was at. So
well, that's
worked out for
what I
me.
was saying. So
Yeah. You know,
it sounds like anything was more entertaining than the anime convention you went to.
yeah, it was rough. As soon as they started being like, you got to wear a mask to come down here, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, luckily that stuff is kind of gone away up here. There's not as many places doing the mask enforcement.
Yeah.
I put enforcements in quotations because I could just walk into any store anyway without a mask, and they don't say anything. Like, we're not gonna bother.
My internet's not broken, dude.
It's not my fault, man. Did you hear Rob's review on ISOM, Drew?
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay, cool.
I've not read the book, and so I'm gonna reserve any kind of review. Although I've seen some things around there, and what I'm concerned about, you know, personally with books like that is that it's a big deal. He's a big personality, and people will buy the book. But is the book really delivering or not? And so it's kind of like, I don't know, Star Trek fans are kind of used to this. It's like, if you get a Star Trek movie, even if it's okay, it's a Star Trek movie, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, but is it really a good movie? Yeah. Is it really? It's kind of like when Thor says to Bruce Banner, but is it really?
and that's the tough part, because I think that a lot of people are equating the level of ISOM #1 to Eric July's 10-year or 15-year personality on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's one thing's been established for years. Clearly he'll debate with the best of them. That's that. But then looking at the comic book, new venture. And I do believe that he listens to the customer base too. So if there are things that people that paid for the book, that got the book, that read the book, says, hey, overall not bad, maybe you should change this, and that. I imagine that, based on the, Rippaverse Code of Ethics, he'll follow through.
Okay. Yeah. So what were the highlights of the book and the not so highlights of the book?
Let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Kirby says he's reading the Indiegogo guidelines at the moment, and they're dumb. Subjective rules, graphically violent content on any type of video, including images or text. And then here's Hockey. Hey, what's going on, Hockey? What's up, brother? Thanks for stopping by, man. Let me know if you want the link. I'll shoot it to you too, man. We were just hanging out. Today's subject was Conan, but you could just come in and draw whatever, man. Man, I seen one really harsh review of ISOM. I seen that review that you sent me, Rob, of that one dude who's like sitting in the chair.
This
I'm
dude
like, who is this? Who is this nerd?
He keeps claiming that he's edited like comicsgate books or something, and he's doing a video, like a 10-minute video, on like 1 to 2 pages of ISOM each one. Great idea to draw out the content, no doubt about it. That's phenomenal. But like, yeah, it's a lot of complaining. It's like, dude,
who's this dude?
Down. What was his name? Paul something. Let me see. I'll find him. Give me some time.
Well, Michael Odin dropped a pretty negative review on him as well.
Yeah, because I thought this guy was like a comicsgate guy, and he had tagged Mandy Summers and
Shane, right?
Davis. about the video that he made, the difference between storytelling and writing. And I watched a video, and he explained the difference between the two based on his perspective. But like Shane Davis responded, he was like, "Why am I tagged in this?" Literally, his book's just made like $100K.
Yeah.
Mike Partica, like Partica.
Let's see. Kirby says the video I saw was 1 hour long.
Oh
Black
my
dude
gosh.
in a suit just talking about every little thing in the book.
He was in the
Like I
suit.
haven't read it or know anything about it, but I hit pause in this video after a couple of minutes and check to see how long this goes. It went over an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, geez, man. People want to take it apart. They want to take it apart. I mean, honestly, I think just I think if it's your first book, I think you get some leniency. In my opinion, I think you do. As long as you're trying to put out a quality product and you're not, messing the customers around or whatever. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. It's just getting started, no problem. If the bones are there and it's it's your first thing, okay, I'll give them some leniency. The things that people want to they want to compare it with, like, that dude was talking about, I bought the essential whatever book he was talking about. Yeah, I bought the essential Hulk for this much, but I paid this much for ISOM, and ISOM wasn't as thick as my essential Hulk book. I'm like, you are retarded, sir.
And petty.
Oh God.
Okay, so
those kind of arguments are fucking dumb. Like, oh man, Eric gets so many of those.
Yeah.
Like I just stopped reading. I'm like, well, whatever. Make yourself look stupid. I don't care.
That is a totally unfair comparison to make. I will grant that. That being said, when you sell enough comic books to go on friggin' Fox News, you better come with it. You better come strong.
Yeah.
And so if I read that book and it's half-assery, I'm gonna be straight up, guys. So I don't care if I only got 250 subscribers. And I get brigaded. I'll be like, I'll stand there with my fingers up in the wind. I'll piss right in the wind with you guys. But the fact of the matter is that the thing with Eric is that, unlike, say, a Van Sciver who's been doing this forever, he's been sitting there, and it's one thing to sit there and bitch on the internet for 10 years about how everybody sucks, and I give mad props to anybody who steps into the arena for it, like he's doing. But at the same time, I guess what Eric's complaints have been, generally speaking, is the fact that politics and social justice and all that stuff has been permeating comics and destroying comics. And it's one thing that's a valid complaint. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to put out a book, and I'm not saying this is the case because I haven't read it. If you're going to put out a book and it's not really something that someone would typically buy if they didn't personally know you, then I don't think you're really making much progress or doing much productive stuff with it. So we will see. But I get to get the book. I've seen one, I think, well-reasoned critical review of the book where they didn't like it at all. I've not seen this video. But to sit there and say, "Oh well, my Superman comic book has 150 pages and it's $4.99," and it's like that's dumb. So that is entirely beside the point of what July is doing. So but thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
And to be fair, I had some skepticism when it came to Eric July launching the book. Because I would watch him from my old YouTube channel that if I even made a video on there, it would automatically be taken down. JBot Art, he knows about the one video I had to record it, by my phone and then share it with him because I couldn't share it directly on YouTube. Like my stuff's been banned into oblivion with that channel. It was way too uncut. But I would watch him from there back in 2018, 2019, so on and so forth. And I heard him start talking about coming out with a comic book. So I told myself, I said, look, if he produces the comic book, I will add him to my art channel, which is the art channel that y'all know today. And he put it out there. One of the reasons why I put that stipulation is because I don't know if anybody's familiar with Dr. Umar Johnson here. This guy was like, I want to build a school for black boys. Like, he said that 10 years ago. And he was like, get on your Cash App, donate. Get on PayPal, donate. PayPal froze my account, so I can't get your money. And he had a long-term hustle going for the school. But Eric July, hey, he got it done. I got the book in my collection. It's right next to Cyberfrog, top tier. Like I said, it was a great start. Just the fact he was able to put it out there. I applaud him for that, because
even the way he went about it too is something that he gets kudos for. Is that he funded the book, he had it done. He, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he I feel like he did it right.
Yeah.
And so he gets kudos for everything done, starting his own site, like just doing everything like that. Like, people kind of regret. They forget to take that into consideration, and then also people will be like, oh, well, when's the book coming out? It's like, dummy, the book is done. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're shitting on the book and you don't even know nothing. And it's not even crowdfunding. The book is done. This is pre-order, baby. You're gonna get it. Like,
yeah.
So
it took a minute for people to comprehend the difference between a pre-order and a crowdfund, because he broke the mold from that, and he was smart enough to anticipate in case there may be some controlling issues financially from Indiegogo.
Yeah. Let me read this. Not every book is for everyone. When I go to the shop, I don't buy superhero books, so I've got no reason to get ISOM. However, he promises more to come. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I was like, I didn't back it. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Like, it looks all right. You know, I mean, in terms, but for me, it's not for me. But I felt like I felt like it was going to be a professional book, and I felt like it was a great start. It's Odin's book on Indiegogo. Yes, it is. Unconditional Shove. If you scroll back to the top, it should be up there at the top of the chat, Kirby. If not, I'll throw a link up there real quick. I put in push and unconditional push.
Unconditional push. There you go.
That's kind of like unconditional love. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as far as how people feel about it, I mean, it's the eye of the beholder. What they took from it.
I mean, I feel like from what I mean, if it's a good start, cool. You get some leniency, but you better bring it on the second one. But that's the same thing too. You don't want to do a book that has a ton of exposition in it, like freaking, like I was reading Wildcats #1 the other day. And I'm like, yeah, Jim Lee Wildcats. And I was like, man, dude, they're just throwing all types of shit at you, dude. I'm like, who, what? Like, what? Who's this person? Why is this dude sleeping in the alley? Like, okay, where's Void come from? They're just like exposition dump after exposition dump. Same thing with like Battle Chasers. I was reading like Joe Mad's Battle Chasers. And I'm like, dude, oh my God.
Yeah.
So to keep from doing that too I think it's kind of an art form in itself. Not just be like, here's a simple little story with a simple little beginning, and then we're gonna kick everything off from there.
Yeah, I think with Isom, one thing I thought with him, I thought he was gonna be stronger than what he portrayed in the first book. Granted, there may be some conditions that may have stagnated him, maybe some ring rust, stuff like that. But I was surprised, man, because like him and Yara, that fight was pretty cool, and she's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, her design's pretty neat.
That's the busty blonde chick.
Yeah.
Well, she's not that busty by my standards, but she's
In other words, she aight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum requirement met.
I like Eva. She had like the blonde to blue hair. I thought that was kind of neat. I thought her
Yeah.
design was pretty cool. With the
Mhm.
white eyes and her costume is. I like it because it looks modern. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Great introduction.
Mm. So yeah, that's good. But I think that's what Eric wants though too. Because Eric
Mhm.
wants people to be honest, man. He wants his fans to be
Yeah.
honest about the book. He
Yeah.
doesn't want, it's one thing of people just shitting on the book just to be like, well, man, Marvel. You know what I mean? It's like, how come it's not as good as Chris Claremont and John Burns X-Men?
Man.
No, you're right. People have got to learn to stop comparing things to other things that are not the same. I mean, just because it's a comic book. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever have you ever like been involved or try to do something and then you come across someone that does what you're trying to do just so much better that you can't even be mad about it. It's just it's just like, damn, I am never gonna get there, and I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this.
Swallow the pride. Yeah.
I'm kind of like
2
that.
times a week.
Yeah, right.
Like whenever I read a Calvin and Hobbes comic book or comic strip, right? And I used to want to draw comic strips. Bill Watterson is like freaking Sir Isaac Newton when it comes to comic strips. I mean, the dude is just so on such another level that I can't help it. But it's the same thing with comic books.
Yeah,
like
Calvin and Hobbes is pretty great.
When you're gonna sit there and try to compare, like, say, ISOM to like something that, I mean, Eric July is like basically doing this from the ground up. He's going out in the wilderness and he's finding some people to help him out, and he's like carving out his own civilization out in the middle of nowhere, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say, well, why isn't this like New York City? And it's like, it's out in the wilderness, and there's no infrastructure. So, but anyway, yeah, no, I understand. I can't stand when I see reviews where people are like that. It's like I think that when you're trying to review comic books, especially independent comic books, there's actually a professional reviewer, movie reviewer, who would say, actually, it's a literary reviewer. forget his name. He's a famous guy who I forgot his name. But anyway, back in the 50s.
Is it that Mike Particle guy?
Take my word for it.
No.
Is he claiming?
This dude said that you should review what they are trying to do, not what you would like for them to do.
Exactly.
And then see if they meet the goals that they are setting for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can apply that to films, right? If I go watch, like, say, I don't know, Home Alone 2, right? They're not trying to be The Godfather, right? So sit there and say, oh, this movie sucks because it's not The Godfather. That's a dumb thing to say. And people don't seem to understand that, even especially with comics. They start huffing all their own farts about the stuff and not actually trying to properly, fairly critique something. So, like, I'm a real hard case when it comes to punctuation and spelling it and proofreading your stuff. So I will nail people to a wall about that, because that's stuff that you don't need to be a professional to fix. You just need to know how to read. So, but anyway, again, thanks for coming my additional TED Talk. Sorry.
No, you good. And that's one of the things, like, I even knew that was my weak point. So I had invested in Grammarly to at least cover some of the stuff when I was script writing, from a comic, because I was like, okay, this is my weak point. I don't know it all. So let me go based off of what I've read, and then let me have, that additional buffer to catch my punctuation, and eventually that'll train me to do better. Kirby said, Rob, what is Isom's powers? From what I can tell so far, most of his fights were brawling, using his strength, speed, leverage to get like leaps. I don't think he was All Might level powerful, but he was rusty. That's why I mentioned the ring rust. So a lot of the brawling, fight moves, kind of athleticism he had, but still, for this book, in my opinion, I think Yara was one of his greatest challenges.
Well,
But
what is Yara's power?
It looks like I'm trying not to spoil anything, but if y'all ask, I'll say what it is.
Is her power a spoiler a thing?
Her powers appear to be like ice or water of some type. Hence
So she's
the
like a Wonder Twin.
hence like the blue hair on her hair tip. But she can fly, which has nothing to do with water or ice. You know what I mean?
There's water
So-
vapor in the air.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, if
I'm
you want
sorry.
to dig deep, you
I'm just
can.
being a dick, dude.
Hey, you can. I'll take it. Give me the slings and arrows. But yeah, as far as I can tell, that's pretty much her main powers. Who knows what else she may have later on? Because like I said, I don't think I fully saw Isem's full potential. I don't think the reader saw his full potential, and especially since he came out of retirement. Who knows how good he was back in the day? If he can rekindle that, don't know.
That's a pretty
So I saw-
interesting idea. You know, kind of like that. The old gunslinger comes out of retirement.
You know, so it's that's why, you know, I left a lot of leeway for this once I understood that Eric July, he presented it in the preview. He was like, this guy, you know, he used to be a superhero, he's not anymore, and you know, he's doing the farm life or whatnot, and he comes back into the game, and there are a lot of players in the game apparently.
So is this kind of like a setting where everybody's a superhero and they go to like the superhero store and get their superhero gear? And is that the kind of vibe, or is there some other kind of explanation of what's going on?
Not everyone was a superhero. Cops were at the mercy of these accepts. So there are some accepts that work for the cops. There are some accepts that work for gangsters. But
What does accept mean?
basically superhero or suits, people with superpowers. Eric July, he explained that. He explained that in the trailer. But yeah,
Do you think I watch trailers?
I don't know, man. But you know, hey, as excited as I was to see, you know, him talking about it, I studied that shit.
Ain't nobody got time for trailers, Rob.
We
What are
had-
you talking about?
We had 2 trailers to go off of, and I watched each of them at least about 10 times because I was excited, and it inspired me with my own stuff too. So
Very nice, very nice.
that's just me, though. I understand that's not everybody.
Not everybody's
yeah.
as awesome as you are, yes, for sure.
Nobody can see
I'm
that.
not awesome. But yeah, I mean, you got a mix. Not everybody has superhuman abilities, and if you want to compete, you know, you gotta get what you need. You know, it sucks when freaking police are at the mercy of a character, and they're like, "Oh snap, that person's back. What do we do?" Oh, you know. So, like I said, I had fun reading it. Yeah,
That's
so,
good. So it sounds like it's a good jumping off point.
yeah,
Kind of all that we can ask for.
yeah. Is it Avengers Endgame at the beginning in the first issue? Is it Infinity War in the first issue? No.
Yeah, we gotta keep in mind too. He's setting up his whole universe or whatever off this book too.
Yeah. I remember somebody did that to me one time. We were watching what was it, Detective Loki? It was an anime. Saw the first episode. And dude was like, "Man, I don't think this is that good, man. This should have started with Armageddon, and it should have been the end of the world and all this stuff." It's like, dude, it's the first episode. Don't get me wrong. The ones that do that, it's pretty epic. But,
Speaking of first episodes, any of you watching Andor?
Oh, there we go.
chance?
what is it?
That the Disney Star Wars thing based on Rogue One.
No.
Oh, Andor.
Yeah, anybody watching
I
that?
thought you were gonna say and then whatever the show's
Yeah,
name.
right. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's where I am with that right now.
And or Rings of Power or whatever.
Oh god.
Cool.
Oh,
Kirby
someone
found.
actually. Go ahead.
Kirby was having an issue finding an additional show, but we shot him the link and he found it. So yeah, he's like he's also saying his success is inspiring. But yeah, it is, dude. Like I don't get it why people want to fail. People want comics to fail because when indie comics do good, it's just like everybody does good. Like I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, that's the process of gatekeeping. You discredit your opposition, and then you try to get people to come back to you for dependency. That's a great Conan, by the way, Replicant.
Yeah, let's see that. I'm done, man. I'm like
Oh, did you actually see it? I didn't think you could see it through the screen.
Yeah, you can see it
Right.
little. Yeah,
I saw it a lot.
Yeah, let's make that big. I'm
That's
gonna make that
legit.
big.
Post it up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's good, man.
It's tight work, bro.
Yeah. He's like, who am I gonna
Dude,
stay?
I love the muscle shading.
Yeah,
Like,
muscle shade is amazing.
yeah, I
That's
probably
awesome.
spent like 75% of the time trying to get that down.
No, it's hard, dude. No,
Yeah.
it's a very subtle thing, and if you fuck it up, then it can ruin everything. So,
Yeah.
well, I was trying not to drop an F-bomb.
Kirby likes it.
And then especially
I'm
since you just started using Procreate and you produced that, I say you're on the road.
Yeah, I
brother.
think I've had it for like a week or something, but yeah.
It came
I
out
know
great,
I
man.
know Frazetta, but I try.
It's mine. Not nearly as stylized as I wanted it to be.
Mhm. See, I haven't seen enough of Frazetta's work. I actually just, and please don't prosecute me, but I actually never heard of
No
Frank
promises.
Frazetta until like
Mhm.
last month.
That's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not knowing about something. I mean, it's a very
Yeah, fewer and
specific
fewer
type of
people
work.
are.
Here's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Wow, see, damn man,
Got this epic.
he got the
That's
whole
what I did.
collection up in this joint.
Like, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, just next to me. And this is what I produced.
Hey, and you, he murdering folks, man. You and them bloodstains.
Rob,
on
if
the
you-
blade.
Rob, if you want, I'll link you to a channel. There's this really cool channel I found.
Mhm.
It'll get you into like why fucking stupid camera. It'll get you into why like people like Frazetta. It'll take you from an artist point of view. It's really cool. This guy like draws along and he tries to like reproduce how he thinks Frazetta penciled. It's
Oh,
badass. It gave me a totally new perspective on art and like
Okay.
penciling. It's really cool.
I welcome that. As far as like one of my top inspirational artists, for all the right reasons, not the bad ones. H.R. Geiger is one of my.
Well, what bad
biggest-
reasons?
Huh?
What bad reasons about H.R. Geiger?
Well, I mean, if you look at his work, it's pretty dark, and he body painted. He did half of his wife's. He body painted half of his wife, like half of her body, and he had to go to Hollywood. And while he was gone, she wrote a suicide note and gunned herself down. So his artwork has some real dark stuff to it. But I like it because he was able to pull a lot of inspiration from his dreams and nightmares. Like the creatures he creates, like the aliens from the movies, that came from his nightmares.
Oh, you're talking about Giger?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at one point, every time I had a dream, I trained my mind to when I would sleep and have an odd dream, I would wake up once it was done and I would take notes on it to try to make a story for it later. And that's been very successful over the years, thanks to, how Giger got some of his stuff. But, all that freaky deaky
really,
stuff, that's not why I like his work.
That's really surprising. I didn't take you for a Giger fan. I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, he's a unique individual, Dark Star.
Oh yeah.
Him and Salvador Dali, and then from there it goes.
And
to
you like
Jim.
Salvador Dali? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And,
Yeah, I don't see that in your work. I took you as a.
I admire their
took you
style, but I don't emulate their style. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't leak into your work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because your stuff seems a lot more like streamlined and modern.
Yeah, like the ones I emulate are like Jim Lee, Britt Booth, Clayton Barton. Those are my go-tos.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, if you like Clayton Barton, you're definitely gonna like Frank Frazetta if you look at his work.
Okay.
Or more of his work.
Looking forward to that. Korath.
Yeah.
Kozar. I'm sorry, Kozar.
Kozor.
Descent into Kozor. Descent into Madness. Yeah, I saw one in Frank Frazetta books on Amazon hardcover. Like, was it like $150? I was like, come on, man.
Oh, you can get cheaper ones. It might have been the original one.
Okay.
These are pretty. These I guess are pretty expensive. My old man. Here's all the ink he spilled on it. Like,
wow.
We use these books all the time.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I grew up with a beat up old Frazetta collection that it was a mixture of like his paintings and his like pencils and inks and stuff. And I had his rough work. I think it was called Rough Work book. And yeah, those were like my Bibles. Like I always had those on hand.
I would never have been able to have his art in my house when I was a kid. So
there's another one guy that was really good.
Yeah.
Chris Achelos was very good.
Nice.
I should see if he's still around. He was very good. I grew up with this book and the Chris Achelos book all the time. And look at that. I start talking to Frazetta and look who shows up. Odin, what's up, my man?
Oh man.
I heard Frazetta. No, for a little bit.
If you want me to drop off so you can bring them on, I don't know how many people you can have on.
No, I could have, I think, 12.
Yeah, you can have a lot.
There's a Tarzans. Look at this, dude.
Yeah, look at that. What's up, Drew? What's up, Rob?
What up, Odin?
JBot?
Hello, you're the big man on campus, dude. I hear you launched your books already?
Yeah, we launched Saturday and halfway to funding on Indiegogo. So
That's awesome, man.
if anyone is listening who has not checked out Unconditional Shove, please do. Please back it if you feel so inclined, as I think you will.
Hells yeah. And I think one of your advantages from not getting shadow banned, Odin, is that you don't live stream from your own channel and say outlandish, crazy stuff.
I say a lot of things on other people's channels, but
There you go, yeah.
Well, I don't live stream. I do make videos, and sometimes I say some crazy shit. But for the most part, that's one of my favorite ones right there. Killing the spider in that with blood.
Yeah,
just that arm. Look how
right here.
well defined that arm
What the
is.
hell? It's working now.
Without too much.
Damn.
So where's Replicant? I see a box, man. I saw him earlier.
Oh,
I don't know. My camera. Melon decided to stop cooperating with my camera.
Oh, okay. Because I was.
Hold on. Let me.
I saw the video on the thing.
the browser.
Hey, it's good to see you, Replicant. I hadn't hung out with you in quite a bit.
Well, that's a lie. You can't see me at all. Nobody can.
Good to. No, that's
Look
why.
at that cheek, man. Oof.
Yeah, that's a Frazetta butt cheek right there.
I think Frazetta shaped the women I'm attracted to. Like
So
for
there's this,
100%, dude. Like 100%.
Yeah, same here. Or I think I got attracted to him because I grew up looking at Frazetta stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Probably what happened.
Because
No,
as far
there's
as I
this old
can,
guy on Instagram that like he's become a fan of my work, but he always like sends crazy ass shit to me. And it's always like reels of like really thick women and stuff. He's like, "There's a Frazetta girl if I ever saw one." It's like all dirty old man, and I'm like, "Yeah, she's definitely a Frazetta girl."
Yeah.
yeah, my wife, we're going to visit my dad. You know, my parents up in Illinois, and you know, my dad. She's like, "What are we gonna get your dad?" It's like, "We're getting him a Frazetta book."
Ooh,
That's what I said. We're getting him an art book. I'm gonna get him a Frazetta book.
man, I
'Cause that's
wish
what
I
we
could
do
have
all the time. We talk about art all the time. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I gotta get him a Frazetta book. You know,
Mhm.
since this was his and I took it. So
That was the cover
Nice.
to Conan of which one is that? I don't know. That's him versus Frost Giants, but like,
yeah, that's cool, man.
what's that? What book was
Look
that?
at the
on?
tension here. Like if you think of it, like this is telling the story. He gets this guy, and this you can tell this guy's coming down with his axe, and he's like ready. You're like, dude, is he gonna be able to like you know what's coming next? Like he's gonna block
Right.
this axe. Like what's gonna happen? You
Well,
know
pay
what I mean?
attention to Frazetta's pieces. It's always a pyramid shape.
Mhm.
Ah,
Almost always a pyramid shape.
So like here,
So like, yeah, the aesthetic of his imagery is like, I'm gonna have all the action pointing up into this pyramid.
like almost in the
And
middle.
it's almost every piece. I mean, sometimes he deviates, of course, but like you just see it so much.
Wow.
Rosetta booty.
Yeah, but that demon in the background,
That is cool.
fucking
Yeah.
badass.
Mhm. That's in fact Odin Mustache Man or Hagi. You know what I'm talking about. We looked at his like tiger with the bat ears and all that.
Yeah,
He
yeah. I remember
yeah,
the name.
he uses a lot of triangle formats for his scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even the
Yeah.
last couple we've seen, they always,
Mhm.
I mean, he just realized, and you'll see it a lot, like he'll have a guy
Right
on top
angle,
of a
yeah.
pile of bodies,
Yeah.
you know, and then he doesn't even like form them out, but he just gives
Yeah.
subtle hints, and you're like, yeah, triangle every time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Triangle is the power, is the key.
Yeah.
So if you go back to that girl with the big sickle, there's one thing that always bothered
the
me
other
about
stuff.
that one. Even though this is a great image, it's how overly defined her belly button is. It always
Oh,
bothers
here.
me. Yeah.
She might be +1.
That's a big
I'm
food.
just saying. But that's a similar belly too. I see what you're saying.
All of
yeah.
these triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he figured that's the formula that works, especially for a one-off image. Like for his storytelling, you know, you do different shit. But
Yeah.
It's basic composition, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
amazing.
It's coming
that-
back.
It's some people don't understand that,
right.
and that's why you should look at books like this.
Yeah.
Aside from excellent breasts.
Ancient C-section scar.
There you go.
So is it
Coming to get her
safe to
baby
say-
back.
Almighty
Is-
triangle.
Is it safe to say that Frazetta broke away from the rule of thirds, or he just made his own version of the rule of thirds?
Well, he probably did it in storytelling, but like, you know, in a one-off composition,
Mhm.
a cover piece, which is what he mostly did.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about the rule of thirds as much, especially because, you know, there's going to be a title, and that also helps to have a triangle, so you have room for a title and, you know, a logo, the book name or whatever.
Mhm.
This was he did a lot of a lot of stuff for John Carter and Tarzan.
Yeah. Well, I
Mm.
love looking at his just inking work.
Dude,
He's a
it's
phenomenal inker. You know, it's like he's most noted for his paintings, but it's like
Do you
Really
think
fun
he
to
used
look
brush or a
he
combination?
usually used brush, but he used both.
Yeah,
I
because I like the
mostly-
the fur texture he got here, man, is awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it'd go brush and quill
Yeah, probably like
because there's some of those lines that are definitely quill,
Mm,
like the rendering on the fur and stuff.
yeah. There's some more.
This is one of my favorites. Yeah,
Oh,
I actually like redrew this one time because I liked the shadow on the dude.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Pulling her up.
nice.
I like this. This texture is really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Here on
well,
the
those old
stone.
guys knew that.
Ooh,
Like, you take any architectural drawing class or something, they'll tell you like use those perpendicular lines to like just indicate different textures in the backgrounds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's just badass. And of course, Death Dealer.
Is that the original Death Knight?
Death Dealer.
Death Dealer, yeah.
That was the original painting that he did.
Is a good one.
Oh.
Yeah, this one was quite a crazy drawing when you look at it.
Yeah, there's your everything.
Yeah,
everything
like
centers to
two
here.
Triangles.
Yeah, everything draws your eye right here.
Yep, right to the focus of the action.
Wow.
But that mammoth is just destroying stuff, and he's charging head on into it. And it's just crazy.
Yeah, I always thought of like who's that? Kazar. Kazar.
Kazar.
You know, from Marvel. I always thought of him. Another good one.
See, that's the one I was talking about. Like all the bodies piled up to this triangle. You know, that's
Let's put a snake in here. Let's put some crazy ass snake in here too. Like whatever, man.
But look how much little detail he puts in all the pile. You know, just the areas where he really wants detail. Like,
I never noticed this thing
there's
is
just like shapes, and you're like, oh, that's bodies. I know it's bodies, but when you kind of look, you're like, oh, it's kind of like some color.
74. That's a good one.
Oh yeah. So that would have been the wizard. Basically the same wizard from Destroyer.
What is that? Sound like a giant bat?
Yeah, it's like this bat demon coming out of the water.
It's called At the Earth's Core.
And that looks like Tigra from Fire and Ice. Even though all his girls kind of look like that.
Yeah.
I've still never seen that movie. Always seen
That's your homework, Rob. You guys.
I gotta watch it.
So good.
I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
Fire and Ice.
I wonder if they put that sucker on 4K.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Triangle there.
Yeah, these are all 74, man. Wow.
Yeah, it was about when he was his
That's
busiest.
crazy.
This is still by far. This will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
Favorite piece ever. I just think Conan looks so badass, like in that pose, like ripping chains out of the ground.
He's like, oh, yeah. It's like, oh, it's the tension that it creates too. It's like pulling up. You can tell it's reeling.
Yep.
You know, it's like it's getting ready to attack. Is he gonna get out? You see the floor is cracking.
Damn.
And again, he always puts the detail where he needs it. Like if you look down, you can't see it because you're scroll at the bottom. But like his foot, it's actually a really horrible foot on that end of that calf.
Right here.
It doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
But nobody ever notices because why would you? You're looking at the part where he wants you to focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even this, like, it's kind of a bird back there.
Yeah. it's just cool stuff. Don't ask.
Hey, Kirby, best Beast and Titties, best fantasy combo.
Actually, that is true.
That is right.
It works.
And then the Barbarian.
Yeah. And that was his first Conan that he ever made.
Yeah.
Again, perfect triangle with just gore and destruction underneath him.
Yeah, even her, like she doesn't have.
Yeah, she's almost hidden into.
Yeah, she doesn't have that much detail in her face and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
if it's not important, he's not putting it there because it'll take away. Like Ken Kelly and Boris Vallejo, they would put. But the thing I love about this piece is the background. So if you go back just real quick, JBot.
Yeah.
Like look at that background with the skulls and stuff. I'm like, you hardly notice it again because it's like the focus is all on Conan right there, but like
Very
that
subtle.
is a cool background.
Wow.
All right, gentlemen, as much as it's cool having my art humiliated next to Frank Frazetta, I'm gonna have to peace out, but it's been good. It's been good hanging with you guys. I'm gonna real quick.
See you again, Drew.
When is your book shipping? Because I didn't see it on the page.
Oh, is it shipping? Well, we're hoping to fulfill at the beginning of the year. But it won't be too much later after that. I'm on
Ooh,
page 65 of inking, so
Okay. Cool.
and my colorist is probably going to lap me here soon, which is a shame.
Alright.
I mean, it's good. It's a good problem to have. But
Yeah, it is.
yeah, the whole thing will be pretty much ready to go by the end of the year, and then fulfilling at the beginning of the year.
Awesome. All right,
Unless
John,
we
you
hit
all have a
sunset.
great evening.
Thanks for coming by, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always good to
dude.
see you, man. Have a good night.
Always enjoyed the banter and the skills.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. All right, peace out, John.
Oh, there was my my
Thank you.
Conan. Oh, let me show you my shit Conan. It came out. I was like, this didn't turn out as all.
Well, I
The way I
kinda saw
wanted
it. It's like it looked like a JBot Conan, which I love it.
You know what I'm saying? I can dig it.
Rob, were you drawing Conan? Is that the thing tonight?
Yeah, I'm
Oh man, so I
falling
missed a
behind.
Conan night.
Yeah, thanks to
80s.
80s Made
It was 80s, yeah.
knocking out good requests.
Well, he did that. He did that to spite me. To spite me. Not smite me. He did that
Yes,
to
it wasn't
spite
as-
me because he knew I would love it and I wasn't here. No.
We'll pretend and be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing Conan again.
Well, it's like my favorite character of all time. But I have so many Conan pieces. That's cool. And Rob, you gonna share? Or you
Yeah, let's share your stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm still working on this dude, man. Like
I like it, JBot. Look like you killed Frankenstein. But...
it wasn't as dynamic as I wanted it to be, and I almost feel like I kind of had to squeeze him on the page. Like I was like, oh, let me squeeze it.
Yeah.
So technically, it's like a crossover because with the Frankenstein, we did that 2 weeks ago, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be an orc, but
A orc.
Well,
My
yeah,
bad.
it's definitely an orc.
Yeah, so
It's like
I kind of started off with something, but I was like, let me make him just oversized.
I love it.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
tried to hide in the. Definitely wanted to fit in the skull, kind of like from 300.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
That's cool,
skull.
man. Got the crown on it.
Yeah.
I like the perspective. You know, the kind of up angle on the
Hmm.
on that powerful jaw.
Yeah, I feel like he's about to like thrust. He's about to like run the sword through somebody else. Like he's like
Yeah,
reeling,
exactly.
and you can say he's like gonna shoot it. Like he's gonna throw that sucker straight forward, right into somebody.
And that's
Exactly.
basically like a Conan thing. I mean, that's like I drew a lot of Conan pieces when I was younger, but like
Mhm.
getting one that's like shows that action, like he's in mid battle, you know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
kind of like that Frost Giants one that we were looking at with Frank Rosetta. You're like, this guy's axe is coming down. Conan just took a swipe, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of walked in not knowing how the hell I was going to do this, but I was like, I got a couple. You know, where you get a couple images of where you want to go with it,
Right.
with the piece. So I just kind of like had to narrow it down after a while, and
Well, I'm gonna look. I think I've got a digital of because I was doing a lot of Conan when I was working on my Wacom.
mhm.
Hey, and then maybe I could share a screen and then take me a second to find it.
Okay.
So
Nothing in there.
keep in mind, this wasn't like drawn tonight, of course. Under
From
the
back
gun
in the
or
day.
anything like that.
How do you feel, man? This is your first launch title, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. We've kind of hit a little bit of a wall, which happens, but
Mhm.
I was glad to see a lot of movement right away, and so yeah, now it's just like a grind. We're just like I just got to talk about it all the time and
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing and go everywhere I can and spread the word.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It's the name of the game. So,
True.
which
true.
I'm not particularly looking forward to. I'd rather just hang out with the people I know already.
Yeah.
But I'm not reaching any new potential backers that way, and so I really got to do that
Mhm.
grind. And,
Yeah, I was trying to share more of your campaign on Instagram, but for some reason, like in the story section,
yeah,
there is some glitch going on with Instagram where you got about 60 seconds to do whatever it is you want to do on Instagram. And after that, the app is closing out entirely. So I've been dealing with that the whole weekend. And I was like, what the hell?
That sucks.
Yeah. And
well, I appreciate you trying, man. I really do.
Yeah, man. You know, hey, I'll promote with my dying breath with my great artistic friends.
Like Rob, say you love your loved ones. You're like, no, back unconditional shove.
Unconditional
I've got one thing to say. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I used to do back in the day with some of my buddies when we were podcasting.
Yeah.
We would promote like crazy. So yeah, there's a skill I'm happy to bring to the fold of comicsgate, you know. And what better way than with your first project, you know?
Yeah, man.
I know I'd probably be in tears. I'd be like, hey guys, you know, everything's good. Thanks for the support. And next thing you know, I'd be in my bed like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Right, I'm keeping it cool.
I gotta put a book out. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It is one of those things you're just blown away that anybody would want it, you know. And you're like,
yeah,
that's something I did. People want it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I really need is more people to want it.
Yeah.
I need more people to want. Yeah, I need more people to want
as
this.
many people as possible to want it.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know why. What happened to my folder that had all these?
That's one of the what was it? That's what ticked me off. What was it? Episode 5 of the spooky time thing I was doing.
Yeah.
I was killing it. Had Lost Boys for the thumbnail and had the beat cranking and everything. And you know, I did the live stream and I was specifically doing Unconditional Shove and Inglorious Rex.
What's up,
hey,
bud?
what's going on, Aldous?
Thanks for coming by.
Oh, hey, Aldous. Good to see you, my
Subscribe.
friend.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So I'll share a screen here.
Yeah, share it.
Yeah, I was
No, it's not Chrome tab.
Yeah, I thought I had followed you
It's an
too,
old
Aldous,
school
on
Conan
Twitter.
I did.
But I saw you followed. I had to follow back yesterday.
So I'm gonna share my screen. Ain't bolted like that.
But yeah, I was pretty disappointed the fact that they banned episode 5. And I was like, I'm trying to promote my friend's stuff, you know.
They banned episode 5. What are you talking about? What?
Remember, I was doing the Halloween week spooky time.
Yeah. Oh,
I
they
was doing
banned
that.
your episode 5.
Yes, just mine. Yeah.
Oh,
and
What
I was doing it every night up until Halloween, and
right.
They banned the one that I was specifically promoting, Unconditional Shove and Inglorious Rex. I figured, you know,
It's been the nature of it.
yeah.
It's been the nature of this launch. It's been a little wonky, but we're forging ahead and spreading the word. Like I said, I haven't checked yet, but hopefully I got maybe a backer off
Yeah, I even
Luke's thing.
I shared it with some of my friends on Instagram. They were like, "Is this your comic?" I said, "No, I'm promoting, you know, my friend's comic that has, you know, new launch. It's on Indiegogo and deals with tales of horror." You know?
Tales of horror. Yeah. Amongst other, I keep thinking about that. I'm like, there's like this like sci-fi like kind of other element to it, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that leaning in on the horror aspect, because people really, especially when it comes to like the creepy and eerie and Tales from the Crypt, Haunt of Fear,
Mm-hmm.
Vault of Terror, Or was it Vault of Horror? Yeah, we know, JBot. Thanks for telling us. No, just kidding.
Please. Technical. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like, just when I wanted to share a page of some Conan art. Well, I did some ink work. I did. So I took John Buscema Conan pencil and brought it into Clip Studio. And it was like not very high res, but I was basically just redrawing it over that. Basically inked a John Buscema piece that way. And then some other artist who did this really badass Conan piece, I inked like that. Basically digital inks. Then I got a couple that I drew. Then I did a redraw of Esad Ribic, who is phenomenal, like more of a painter. And he did this Conan piece in paint, and then I did like an inked version of basically the same thing.
Okay.
This is stuff I was doing just to get used to using the drawing tablet.
Yeah. Kind of like warm up, get acquainted with it.
Yeah, well, they ended up turning out badass. I was like, oh yeah. And then just as I got used to it, I'm like, I really miss, like, there's nothing like having like ink actually flow onto a piece of paper, you know?
True. Yeah.
And so once I got used to the tablet, I'm like, I miss ink. And then once I picked that back up, I haven't touched my tablet since. That was like 3 years ago. So.
Yeah, that can happen. Trust me, I know. I'm slowly trying to wane off of the iPad myself, and eventually get to the point where if I want to do a comic, I can streamline it, but I want to have those traditional one-off pieces too.
Well, and it's also like that reminder. I mean, I remember first switching over that you're doing your shortcut keys on accident to nowhere, You're like drawing like, oh yeah, I would normally like your undo button.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
Even those damn gestures, with the iPad, 2 fingers movement or 3 fingers and all that.
Yeah. You want to like enhance your drawing. You're like, I can enhance, but I'm
I think I'm alive now.
Hey.
All right. How's that?
Got the
yeah, you got it working, but now we're in this like weird I gotta stand over here.
Avengers panel.
I had to refresh the browser.
Do the whole thing over again. I like what Aldous said here. Unconditional shove. Literally, a no limits trip to hell is implied by the title. Yes. Hell like Little Nicky, where he's picking out pineapples for Hitler. That kind of hell. Yeah.
Gotta release the good.
Release the good. All right, here, I'll show you some.
You guys finally hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
I'll share some Conan stuff.
Shutting everything down, dude. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this was the Esad Ribic. He did a painting of this, and then I was like, I'm going to do an ink version. So.
Damn. I can dig it.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. And then I'll share one more. It was just one that I did. These were all on Wacom, which wasn't my forte, but
that's a good one.
Still good, yeah. That's
Is
good.
it showing the right one, or am I showing that Buscema piece?
This is the Buscema.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not that good.
I was about to say, whoa, shit, what happened?
Let me try again.
No, definitely still noteworthy.
Well, I did do an inked version of Buscema that actually turned out.
I think those are very good practice. Because
that was the actual.
Man. I think what's the name found my Achilles heel? JBot.
What was that?
Get me talking.
No.
I draw slower.
It's not a competition, man.
No.
I'm sad
I
that
know.
Replicant couldn't get his stuff working to come back.
Yeah, no, like right when I came over,
That's
he's
cool,
like,
yeah.
I can't work. I'm like, oh man.
Oh,
Man. You got
that
some
dude is
masterpieces.
fucked.
Yeah, I don't like the crane of his neck. This was years ago. It's like, it's funny how you can look at something from years ago and go like, oh, I can see some really awesome stuff, and then see like all this stuff. You're like, yeah.
The idea and the composition is really good.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
show one more. Let's see, where do I go? Where I can just skip it. So that was an inked piece that I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that one.
Yeah, I can't remember who the
Wow.
artist was, but I just did the inks
Man.
over it. Just trying to get used to the tablet.
Yeah,
There we
you
go.
got used to it all right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was
Kicking
the
butt.
one. But even that, I can see lots of things like that. I'm like, oh yeah, and they're just form things that would not be acceptable to me now. But
Mm-hmm.
and also,
Yeah.
just like I said, getting used to that tablet was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you were using Wacom?
Yeah,
Yeah, I started out with a Dasko, and then I got a Wacom, and for some reason, it's one of the weirdest things. The Wacom tablet, like the nubs, they shred down so fast, but like the iPad ones, you barely have to replace them,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
and they're both from China, so I don't get.
No, my kids had the iPad tablet that they drew with it all the time, and
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not an iPad, I'm not an eye guy, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
every time I got on there, yeah, you're right. The nibs felt really, really smooth, really responsive.
yeah.
Yeah, I tried with the paper thing. You put a paper protector on it
Oh, okay.
on the iPad, and I
Yeah, they
I
got the-
hated it. I was like, oh, this sucks, dude. Forget it. Forget this, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
So I did want to share one other thing with you guys, just because this was Fragtober the other day. It
Yeah.
was the championship Fragtober, and they chose the Kane from House of Mystery.
Okay.
mm,
And so I did mine. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I seen that.
See, I didn't even know who that character was. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he's like,
I made two of us.
all
I
of
didn't
these
know.
anthology books from back in the day had a narrator of sorts, you know. And
Oh,
then
okay.
Unconditional Shove, I have Vidon. That's my narrator.
Mhm.
Kane was the one for House of Mysteries. And then he had a brother, Abel, naturally.
Makes sense.
Kane and Abel.
Mhm.
Can't remember what the book was for Abel, though. But anyway,
Huh.
I wouldn't have even known that much, except for that I'm like I'd seen the character a bunch of times. So I was like, oh, that's who he is, you know. So
You remind me of the
that was
owl.
fun.
Mhm.
What's
Remember,
that?
remember the owl from like Daredevil? Like the owl, he had like the Wolverine hair. He was like wore the cape. He wore like the
Oh,
green
yeah.
cape.
Oh, wow.
Like that's what I thought it was. Like, oh, they drew the man. They went hard on
They-
the owl. Like, okay.
Well, I think they just really love that hairstyle. Like, you know, we think of Logan with the hair.
Mhm.
It's like you go back and you'll see that hair on a lot of characters. I
Yeah.
don't know why they thought that was the coolest thing ever, to just have like basically hair horns. You know?
Yeah.
But you see it a lot.
Yeah.
That was fun. I guess Malin won.
Yeah.
It was Malin Rini, and I would have voted. Well, I'd probably always vote for Lepresti because, like, style-wise, he's my favorite
Yeah.
out of those artists. But
I didn't even see. I caught the end where after Malin already won, so I didn't even see the final pieces.
Yeah, I saw everybody else's, but Malin, he's pretty secretive when it comes to some of his stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get to see his artwork too often unless I bought it.
Well, he's got his own simps, I guess, or crew that they would vote for him no matter what. So that's why
Yeah.
I think he won. I thought some of the other people had better pieces, but
Yeah.
And,
his
and
was
then
the
he keeps
funniest.
diverting that attention to Rainy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really good.
This is my
So, you know,
broadsword.
You know what I love about this piece, JBot? it has a flow to, speaking of composition and flow, it reminds me of almost like a playing card, like a Queen of Spades or something, like it just has this compact
structure. Yeah.
Structure. Yeah. It just reminds me of that. I don't know why.
Yeah, she's reaching down for a. Well, I don't even need this whole thing. I don't know why I'm moving the whole book. Like moving the whole damn book. It's not even inside.
For the easy button. That's what she's going for.
Nice.
That was easy.
I can dig it.
Oh, stupid.
And the armor is very consistent too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At first, so the concept, I did the concept before, and she was just an armor, like regular armor. And I was like, let me jazz it up. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I gotta fix this damn thing.
Yeah, she's twitching.
Nuts, so it's like, yeah. Titties are too big.
Hey, there, it's good now.
I gotta shut off the stupid autofocus. What I gotta do. There we go.
I really like that. She looks.
So it's the original
I can dig
concept. Where did I put that damn thing? I just had the notebook right here in front of me. Oh well. Anyway, she was just like more traditional. Oh, here it is. More traditional like armor stuff. Almost like Witchblade X kinda. I mean, not really though, but very simple.
Okay.
And then so that was the original doodle.
That's where it started. Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, then I started playing with the concept more, and then I'm like, well, I'm gonna draw what I like to draw. So let's do some kind of steampunky with giant flathead screws.
Yeah. Well, I think you would have sold it more, and you could still do this because on the pencils. But like, if some of them were at different angles, because you made all the flathead slots even with each other.
Especially
angles.
These.
Yeah, those three. Like the other ones are all good.
Yeah,
but yeah, I love that. Like, you basically have to have a giant screwdriver to take this off.
So the idea would be, she has.
Maybe you're so hot, but I didn't bring my screwdriver.
I got a wrench.
But yeah, she's gonna have some tickle bitties, and she's just gonna have like a shorter loincloth in the front, longer one in the middle. So when she's like spinning, it'll kind of like flow a bit. And then this kind of like thing to hold her boobies in. But it's like no armor on the midsection, armor all over the arm.
Yeah. Nice. All the vital organs exposed, everything else covered up.
And then I'm even thinking about maybe here on her back, extending her back plate, and I might give her two little like jet boosters.
Oh, Rocket Knight Adventures.
Kind of, yeah. So she could like jump, like double jump, because I was thinking about that concept I had of like all like the floating islands and shit. And like the fantasy stuff that I kind of have, that I could be like, all that stuff would fit together, like kind of in like this type of world. So she has a little shield, and then this giant ass Siegfried sword. And then I add the little visor thing and stuff like that. So, and then like the big. So she's almost like, it's almost like if you think of like Samus from Metroid or something, but like the shoulders and the legs.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the idea of how the armor works. And she's she's just gonna be some scrawny lady, and then she finds the sword, and then the sword like
you got to draw a picture of like the armor sitting next to her, and the armor just looks like gigantic, and she's just kind of like, hey, that's my armor. Yeah.
I'm gonna have her sitting on
that scale.
Yeah.
Have them sit on the couch.
Might do the shoulders bigger too. The shoulders I think I might do them bigger.
And just don't cover up her face. That's
it's kind of more of a design choice on this one. Even then too, I felt like maybe the guards on the like, I like the size of the knee. I might make the elbow one bigger. And, but yeah, it's a massive ass sword with a long handle and stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh, I like this concept. I was like, this was really fun to draw, because I really don't draw chicks that much, and especially like like busty women either. And I think it's because I'm not good at it. And then I did this one, and I did Goblin Girl, and I was like, that was really
Goblin
fun.
Girl,
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Did this all start with Goblin Girl?
It did. I'm like,
Oh,
this is all
yeah.
your fault, Boob Dan.
All Boob Dan's fault.
Yeah, it's
Well,
all
who
Boob Dan's
suggested it? It wasn't Boob Dan who came in.
He
And
was the
suggested-
80s.
Oh yeah,
He's
80s.
coming in with all the good
request.
suggestions.
Even like this piece. Like
Because I
this
would have
kinda-
loved to have done all those.
Like the Frankenstein kind of fits in the same,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the same world.
like
Yeah.
the same world. Like some, you know.
Well, JBot, like a lot of your stuff has its own aesthetic that is like particularly
There's a blue line.
you, and does kind of seem like its own world. That's kind of this mix, this hybrid of like steampunk stuff and mech and medieval, and I don't know, it's all over the place, but it's like everything you draw, because it's so your style, like seems to fit into this universe, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Indeed.
just imagining it. I'm like, this is
Nice.
the JBot universe.
Well, that's why I kind of was like, let me do the armor, but like how I would do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
And
I
that's
mean,
where this came from. I'm like, all right, let me do it like
Wow.
this.
when you're creating, that's it.
So I kind of
Create what
leaned
you
in
want.
more to the stuff that I like on terms.
Well, I
of
was
design.
explaining that earlier on Luke's stream when we were talking about Unconditional Shove. I was like, I can draw other styles, but what I typically draw when I'm liking what I'm drawing, or when I just want to draw,
Mhm.
and not worrying about the style, turns out to be this kind of like old horror kind of look,
Mhm.
and it worked really well for this feel of this book. So I was like, well, that's why I'm doing this. I could have gone all kinds of different routes, you know. What do you want to do? And I'm like, well, this could have been lots of things, but what do I want to do art wise was pretty easy. Like every time I draw, it kind of has this look, and I'm like, well, I'll go with that.
Mm.
Because I could make a totally different style of art. It would just be like forcing it. And that's the thing, when you're creating your own stuff, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So all of the things where you're like making those decisions, JBot, it's like, yes, you know, like do what comes natural or what feels good. And it, again, not at the sake of not growing as an artist, but like definitely do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because then it's not gonna drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun.
I've literally driven myself crazy making outlandish decisions, trying to do fancy stuff. And it's
Right.
like, well, I could have saved about 3 live streams not doing that.
Only 3? Well, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Also,
Probably
you
more
see
than
stuff
that.
too. You know, you see stuff for like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah, I know.
And then
it's
you're
tough.
like, let me try. And you're like, oh man,
It's not me.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
man, what am I doing?
Well, and sometimes you just have to kind of recognize that, you know, it's kind of like, Boob Dan would be a good example. You know, it's like he learned his style that he grabbed. I'm sure he's a phenomenal artist. He could draw other styles. I guarantee it. But he's like, this is what I naturally just draw like when I'm having fun. So let's just go in on it. This is what I'm going to do, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm sure Goblin Girl and all the pieces he does, he's like, okay, but it becomes his own aesthetic. It becomes the style that everyone knows him for.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And he likes to do it. So, or I assume so. I can't speak for him.
I hope so.
Yeah. He's like, I hate drawing. If I have to draw another gigantic boob, I'm going to put a bullet.
I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah. And one of the coolest, nicest guys out there. So.
I put my whole career around the lie that I like boobs. I hate them.
Right? I actually just want some itty bitty titty.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
think
have to wrap this up. That's kind of, I was like, I'm just jumping on to hang out for a bit. But
I appreciate it. Yeah, I think
actually
we're all
hung out
wrapping
for
up.
a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah. Thanks for
Now it's time
joining
to
us.
wrap it up on my end too. It's 1:30 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to get out of school. So
Oh yeah.
I'll just hang out till you say goodbye then.
yeah, it's gonna be right now. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm glad you guys were able to stop on by. Again, next Tuesday, you guys are always invited. Same time, 10 p.m. And we'll see what subject that 80s will suggest
Oh yeah,
Nobody else threw anything out.
he's on a roll.
Yeah, so I put it. I've been put in the description, and when I share it said the chat suggests what we draw.
Mhm.
So bring some suggestions.
There you go.
You are you have you considered maybe doing a poll? Have it start
On Twitter.
maybe this on Twitter. Have it start like because the poll lasts for 24 hours, right?
I've been thinking about it, but I don't want them to be on Twitter. I want them to come here.
Right. They basically come up with a good answer and then not show up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That's
that
why
is
I
true.
want them to come here.
Okay.
I want to get the asses in the seats.
Now, I guarantee, and I know you probably won't want to do this, but I guarantee if you make the poll on Twitter and say, I'll ship it, basically what Frag is doing, I'll ship mine out to you when it's done, you would definitely get at least the person that are voting, you know.
Yeah.
It may be some, I don't know.
It
Get
could
more
be.
viewers, but like, yeah, that's a thought.
You
But then
can-
again, you have to ship drawings all the time. which
Yeah.
Yeah.
could be a
I mean, I
pain,
wouldn't.
so
I
you
wouldn't really.
got addresses.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
$30 shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really mind the
Robo
shipping stuff
winning,
too
and they
much.
like, I got to ship to the Philippines.
I'd be like, no. Yeah. Or just like, everything's digital.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'll set you an NFT.
yeah,
Send
basically.
you a screenshot. Here you go.
I think you can set up polls on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, you can in the chat too.
Okay. So you got some options, you
Yeah,
know.
we gotta get more than one suggestion though.
Yeah, because 80s is dominating the playing field.
At the same time, I kind of want it to be our decision too. Like you can suggest, oh, cool.
Yeah, the power
Ah,
of
well,
veto.
Yeah, you know, I think if we, because then you're forced to draw something, I don't think it'll be as fun. And I don't think if we're not having fun, the chat won't have fun. I think it's a different dynamic. I think they suggest some stuff. We've kind of, you know, even if we wanted to combine two things or whatever, maybe that somebody had.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna do this. All right, cool. So I want us to have the power to say yay or nay.
Indeed.
At the end
That
of the
makes
day.
sense.
So
I
and
do
want
wish it
them to
was
come.
easier to like ship original stuff, because
I know, man.
if we did this every week, I'd be like, I'd gladly ship it out, but I don't want to pay money to ship it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
If you live next door, just walk it over and be yours.
So we just start buying, we start drawing like, you know, tiny.
little traded card size, and then like, but you're still paying quite a bit. I mean, even small stuff.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. At that point, you might as well make it big and just pay that extra $1. You know?
Yeah, make it worth it.
Yeah.
Tis true.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for coming on by. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and I'll catch y'all later.
Night
Thanks
all.
to the chat. Hail everybody, and have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. See, I'ma let you know who the best by the hour. This like Rosie O'Donnell at a bisexual bridal shower. It ain't nothing to me, man. I keep it for real. Look at this dental, man, with dental the grill. See, I'm the best. I told you that. This dude like that, he ran in front of the cat. Now I messed up, but I'ma stay on top. They told me, man, but you know, I'm never gonna flop. Look at this dude, he need to stay in the shade. Ain't no wonder why he came out. He already in the gay parade. I told you, man, I got you roasted like ever. You don't know, but my rhymes, they straight up clever.